If you've ever spent your Thanksgiving holiday yelling, time out, take a time out, then you would have been like me yesterday. And also go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. Hope you all are full from turkey and deals and food and family and all of that stuff from yesterday. We got kind of a light day on deck today in terms of events and earnings and anything like that. Really, we don't have anything here today. We do have some stuff moving around. I expect to see a little bit of some, smaller plays get a little crazy today. So we'll go ahead and break that down. Black Friday starts right here on Benzinga's Market Edge Live. All right, folks, happy Friday, happy Black Friday, and good morning. Starting off our morning with white chocolate mocha, of course. So we're doing well. We're doing well here today. Good morning, Kayla. It's great to see you again. Nick Brown. Hello, Nick Brown. Oh, man. Let me know if you stay on the earnings or the news beat here this morning, Nick. We need a coach fired pronto. I actually can't believe he's not fired yet. Oh my goodness. Anyway, it's great to see you. Happy Friday. Happy Black Friday to you. Sideshow, good morning. It's great to see you again. Russ, misspelling my name just like Lion does. Love it, Russ. Thanks for joining us here. Happy Black Friday. Good morning, Ryan. I went to get along with a variety of family. The way I get along, man, is that a tough sentence to say, Gary? The way I get along with a variety of family over the holidays is I give up on being right. Gary, smart. I'm not able to do that, though. 3D, good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Black Friday to you. Thanks for joining. Kevin, it's good to see you again. Lakeland, Florida. All right. Awesome. Good to see you here. Hopefully the weather's good in Florida. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving. Russ, it's okay, man. We out here. We joking around. Big Bees, good morning. It's great to see you. Happy Black Friday. Hopefully you all had a great Thanksgiving. Favorite Thanksgiving dish? Would love to hear it from you folks. JJ, good morning. It's good to see you. JJ, man, look, it's hard. I've said it before. I've said it a number of times before. It's very, very difficult to root for this team. And unfortunately, people that don't root for the Chicago Bears, they don't understand. A lot of them will tell you that they do understand too, because their team went through a bad spell and blah, blah, blah. Lions fans are notorious for this. Oh, our team was terrible for so long. We know. No, you don't. You don't know. You don't know because they actually have good players and they are losing games because of one incompetent fool. It was rough. It was rough yesterday, JJ. Hopefully we hear about a firing here today. Good morning, Bobby. It's great to see you. Okay. Now we will talk about some of the stories. Now there are some stories here that's going on. So we'll talk about some of those. But we'll start here with Microsoft. We'll start with the broader market. We'll start with the SPY here first. But here we go. Looking around here, we're just about flat. Market's just about flat, up about 0.2 here in the SPY, up about 0.3 here in the Dow, and up 0.2 here in the NASDAQ. So for the most part, we're, up green arrows here, but basically flat. Like I had mentioned at the top of the show here, let me go ahead and give you a chart. You don't need to look at me full screen. Like I had said at the top of the show here, really not a lot going on here in terms of economic events or earnings or anything like that. Really, the thing that we're going to be looking for here today is some of the news that might affect some of the retailers for Black Friday. And I actually got a story here for you. We're going to go over some of that stuff here. I know the retail trade has been hot. I'm actually getting hit on the retail trade because I'm trying to short Walmart, but we'll talk about all that stuff. We do have some story there. And Nick here, appreciate this. From Reuters, U.S. Thanksgiving online sales up about 4% so far this year, data shows. That's good. It's early. We should actually be getting more and more data out about that. And it's still early, but really good sign. I actually, and with myself, I've actually only ordered a couple of things for Black Friday, but I am waiting for a drop here today, actually. And it comes in between our live trading show and Anne Marie show. Anne Marie also confirmed for today. So despite some of the slow news cycle, we're still going to have a bunch of trades to give away here today. Anne-Marie will be joining us here at 11. So stay tuned for that. Okay. So looking at the SPY here, I know we just gave you the futures here, pretty much flat. SPY, not really a whole lot to report here. We're basically just along this trend line. So I wouldn't be shocked if we break for new all-time highs. Looks like 600 is definitely going to be a level in play. We're pretty much right there. 635 at the moment, 632. So we'll see. This could be a spot on the downside as well as the upside. We'll see if it finds any type of resistance or support or whatever. I expect today to be kind of a light day with the SPY and some of those bigger stocks. Maybe some of these smaller movers will go, but I don't think that's going to have any play on the regular market. So that's basically what's going on with SPY here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Microsoft next. We did have a story here. Microsoft, Lena Khan headed FTC approves probe into Microsoft's cloud and AI practices amid antitrust scrutiny. So that's kind of what's going on here with Microsoft. Now, first of all, Microsoft down here about 0.5% here in the pre-market on light volume, really not responding. It was down a little bit in the after hours on Wednesday. Really not a whole lot going on here. I think the takeaway here is that Lena Khan is obviously going to be removed from her role pretty soon, and is just trying to do some things on the way out here. As far as this, how is this actually going to impact them? We'll see what the probe does. Cloud and AI practices. I mean, we'll see. They can come up with a number of things on that. I don't really think that this news story, despite this kind of being in the news cycle right now, I'm not really sure there's a trade here yet, to be quite honest. So we'll see if the trade does develop from this. But so far here, unless you have some other view on Microsoft, I'm not really sure there's a trade. Now, looking at the chart here, that's actually a little bit interesting because as you can see, we've really started to compress here in Microsoft. And in fact, we've been in this range pretty much since July. Microsoft really hasn't done much of anything since July. Obviously, we've traded in this range between about 400 and 440, give or take a point on each side of that. But it's really, really just gone sideways. And it's also started to compress. Okay. So to me, it's that, which is also compressing, the price is starting to compress, but that's also compressing some of these moving average lines. Now, what I can tell you for sure is that we are going to have a move here. For sure. I mean, look at all of these values are pretty much within each other. Let's take the 20-day out of there for a sec. The 50, the 100, and the 200 are all within $1 of each other. All within $1 for each other. So this stock is going to move here. It's either going to break out or break down. The thing that we need to figure out is which one is it going to be. If I had to bet today, given no other information, I would say that this probably breaks higher, and then some resistance points that I would look at would probably be 440. 440 to the upside here seems like that it could find some resistance there, and then probably also going to find some here at 450. We have an all-time high on Microsoft from July 5th. That all-time high there was 468.35. So those are going to be your upside levels here. I really think that this is going to need a catalyst to move it. We've seen chips really start to be weak. We've seen NVIDIA start to thin out here, which is going to be great for the rest of the market. We'll see how that affects some of the other Mag 7 stocks, right? We'll see how Microsoft ends up faring for that. I would say just kind of watch the volume, watch the news flow here. My guess would be that we break out to the upside just because the market really hasn't shown that it's going to break down yet. And I would imagine that Microsoft just kind of trades with that. As far as actually trading this, with the moving averages compressed this much, I think if you start to use any of these as a stop, you run the risk of getting stopped out on your trade prior to that move. Right? It sure looks like Microsoft is just kind of trading back and forth in this channel. So what I might do here as just kind of like a strategic look at this, I might kind of buy less for the scale in process, and then maybe widen some of your stops. Maybe even hold a stop down here to 400, maybe even less than that. for 390 even. Stock's only at 422 here. If you buy less and it comes in and then holds that area, you can load up and you'll probably have a better price there. So my guess is that this goes higher. Again, those resistance points, let's call them 438, 440, 450, and then maybe the all-time high. Okay, that's what I would get. There you go, Keith. Let me know if that's what you're looking for. That's what I would look for on Microsoft. Okay, next story here, and this one I'm actually going to share with you. Let me get the URL here for you. I know that our chat has been following this quite a bit. All right, so this is going to be on MicroStrategy here, ticker MSTR, affectionately called Mr. Around these parts here. MicroStrategy shares jump in Friday's pre-market as Bitcoin rebounds to 96,000. Consensus price target reveals over 15% upside for MSTR. So I totally get this one here. You know, one of the things that I've been looking for is this 383.40 level. Is that going to hold as support? Tell you what, we kind of overshot this with the candle from Tuesday, but came right back into that with the candle from Wednesday. Now we're trading up here again. We'll see what we do with this potential head and shoulders that's forming on the daily. The next several days of price action are going to be really important to tell if we're actually going to stay in this or invalidate this pattern. Now, one more thing here, especially when it comes to head and shoulders, these can get a little bit janky. So I drew this right shoulder just kind of predicting it or copying it from the left shoulder. But the reality is that this might actually have some room up to maybe 450 or even 460 to still form this shoulder. So while I drew this on here, let's not pretend that that's carved in stone. Let's understand that we might need to edit that a little bit. That being said, it sure looks like this 383.40 level is some type of level, even if it didn't support the price on Tuesday. Does look like we kind of traded right back around that area. And remember, MSTR, the one thing we know for sure about this already is how volatile it can be, how big those intraday ranges can be. One more thing that I've added to this chart here is this little purple area. In fact, what I'm going to do is extend this out. Let me actually make this a little bit easier so I can see it here. We're actually going to extend this out. This range was given to me by Big B's. Big B's, this was your, I believe, 360, 361 support and your 377 support or thereabouts. I can't remember the exact numbers that you gave me, but I basically just eyeballed it to add this in here. I'm going to extend that out because I do think that we probably come back into that area one or several times over the next few days here. So MicroStrategy. The article's in there if you want to read that. One thing that I would like to do here, I'd like to know if you folks would appreciate this. I'm assuming that you would, but I might as well ask you formally. I'd love to get Michael Saylor on here so we can talk to him. Ask him about MicroStrategy's business. Ask him about Bitcoin. Ask him about what he thinks about all of this stuff. Considering our group seems to really like MicroStrategy and Bitcoin, I feel like that would be a banging interview. So I'll work with the team. I'll see if I can set that up. But yeah, sure. Oh my God, yes. Okay. So early results are in. That would be a good one. We'll work with the team and see what we can do to figure that out. I do know that Michael Saylor takes a lot of interviews, so I'm optimistic that we'll be able to make that happen. So I'll see what I can do for you. Can't promise you yet because I haven't spoken to anybody, but I'll definitely see what I can do. Okay. Let's keep moving on there, right? APLT is the next one here. This is a stock that we don't often look at. Did I miss? Yeah, I sure did. APLT. Here you go. Applied Technologies. Here's the stock. This is actually one that we've traded a number of times before. Take a look and see what's going on here. The stock absolutely destroyed. I mean, just completely destroyed. What's going on here? Regulatory setback for Applied Therapeutics lead program. FDA highlights deficiencies in clinical application. Oh my. So this stock's down 73.9%. We saw a recent move like this one with Sava, which got cut by like 80%. And oh my God, it is a Thanksgiving miracle. It is snowing. Light snow flurries here in Chicago on Black Friday. Oh, that is going to be a good. There's no way else to take that. That's a really good luck charm, and I am absolutely stoked about that. So sorry for digressing there, but oh my goodness, That made me happy. Okay. APLT. So huge move down here. This no good. Really the only thing trade-wise that I can see here is a potential dead cat bounce. We actually did get that on Sava. My producer is awesome. We did we had no plans to do that, but the producer's out here with the banners throwing up bangers. Absolutely love it, producer. Really good stuff. Okay. We're having fun on a Friday. APLT. I am going to watch this one here today. This news obviously happened on Wednesday, and it's carrying over to today. It looks like Wednesday in the after-hours session, this thing has already bounced. Looks like it traded down to $1, about $1.32. Stocks at 250. Excuse me, 225 right now. Looks like it was almost as high as $3, 280 or so there on the bounce. So maybe we get another one here. Be extremely careful. This looks like the death blow. The market telling you here that this is no good. So it's not as if they have a pipeline of other really great things to lean back on. One of the other things to keep in mind is that before the data came out, this thing was actually weak. So it looked like some people kind of anticipated this data, and as a result, sold the stock. So we'll see if we get a play here. This is easily one of the biggest movers. This one to the downside, down by just about 74%. Yikes. Okay, let's keep moving through some of the news here. The next one here, Disney. The news that we have here, Disney's actually actually came back in a little bit. It's actually down 0.2. When I first woke up, it was up a little bit. Actually looked like it was going to challenge that intraday high from Wednesday. News here. Disney is all in on cruise ships, and here's why investors should care. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't care. Just straight up, I'm just gonna mention that I do not care at all about Disney being all in on cruise ships. I'm not a Disney fan. Here, let me actually get you the story here. We'll throw that in the chat here for you. I'm actually not a fan of the company itself, and I'm actually really not a fan of cruise ships post-COVID. So this news is kind of a non-factor for me. However, let's take a look at where the chart is. We've recently had a gap up, and it's actually challenged some previous resistance levels. And now it also looks like we're grinding higher here. Okay. So Disney did take out the top of the impulse candle, which is one thing, but it is grinding higher here. It's becoming more and more extended from that 200-day. The levels that we've discussed on Disney recently are still in play. I think the last one we had here is just about 124-ish, maybe 123 and change, but 124-ish there as well. That could be one of your upside levels, I guess, maybe 126. So 124 to 126, the next upside level here. I'm not really sure this moves it. RSI is totally overcooked. MACD is actually, the histogram anyway, is starting to slow back down. I wouldn't be shocked if this came back in towards 110. And obviously, if it did come back in towards 110 and hold, maybe we have another retest here of the island. The one thing, floating petri dishes for the cruise ships. Totally agree. The one thing that I would mention here with the floating island, we've talked a lot about some of these island formations recently. One thing to keep in mind here, if we retest this, it's not necessarily going to behave the same way it does on the first retest. So we've kind of already come back in a little bit and moved to new highs. Want to be a little bit more we want to babysit the stock a little bit more if it does come back in here. We want to make sure that it actually holds that area instead of giving it back up. If we do fall, I do see a gap fill closing this down to about 103. And if that happens, I think the next test here is 100. So we'll probably retest that 200-day, which is currently at about 102, would probably be a little bit less than that if we did start to move back down. But I think inevitably, if we move back down, 100 is going to get tested. So we'll see. We shall see. Okay. Next story that we have here is going to be on Apple, and this one is actually quite interesting to me. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the chat as well for you, at least the link there. Okay, this one here, Apple. Elon Musk lauds Apple AirPod Pro 2 hearing aid feature as Tim Cook highlights the affordable solution to what otherwise might cost up to $7,000. So this is extremely interesting to me for a number of reasons. First of all, If any of you have family members that have problem with hearing, whether they're active or retired military or simply just elderly, you know how this can affect people. And you also know how this can make those same people feel isolated if they're unable to communicate with their loved ones. Hearing aids, as long as I've been alive, hearing aids have been very, very expensive for high quality ones. Low quality ones that sometimes work or only work with people with a certain level of hearing loss or are big, bulky, and unsightly are less expensive, just not as desirable. And this entire story to me is extremely interesting, not only for helping people with hearing problems, but also because the entire earbud type of headphones seems to just becoming more and more mainstay. More people seem to use them. The technology has really, really ramped. There used to be a point where small headphones, buds that used to be corded, really didn't produce any type of low-end frequency. Music didn't really sound great on them. Talking kind of did, but it wasn't that great. It is a humongous, humongous step forward to where we're at right now. And now some of these are actually good enough to have a hearing aid function. Now, it's worth noting, I have no personal experience with the hearing aid function. Okay, so I can't give you any firsthand knowledge. But I am kind of following this, and I do think that this is really awesome. This could really kind of reset the market there, especially if these are headphones that are used for other applications that you can then also use as a hearing aid. That is pretty sweet. So we'll see how this kind of advances as we get more into wearable technology and AI technology. One of the takeaways here is that there's a huge market for this. And if you're able to sell even more expensive earbuds that are high margin products, that could be really, really good for Apple, especially if they kind of feature this aspect of it. Like if they start making improvements to the hearing aid aspect of it, that might force people to upgrade. You can get more of a repeatable income stream with that. So I think this is a cool story. I'm interested in this. I want to see this progress further here. We'll see if this does actually have a material impact on the stock. I use the Samsung products, obviously, so I use the Buds product instead of the AirBud product, but honestly, it's the same deal on that side too. I use them every single day, and they have got really, really good in terms of their quality. Okay, the last one here, and perhaps the most important one before we start looking at some of those smaller stocks that I know you folks all want to look at. We're going to talk about Black Friday sales really quick. Let me catch up on this. Hearing aids have always been obscenely expensive, indeed, and I wonder if this is a way to kind of attack that. Vuzi, heads up glass, big pop last week on news. Okay, so we'll check out Vuzi here. So when I lose my hearing from my headphones, I can just sign up for their program to get the hearing aids and still listen to really loud music. Interesting concept right there. I would think that if you started to get hearing damage, maybe you'd pare back the really loud music. But you're bringing up an interesting point. If they can go deaf from the product, then they can just use the same product to help with the hearing and maybe go even more deaf. Interesting way to go about that. We'll see. Again, we'll see how this really kind of pans out here. Bigabees, they've always recommended to use noise canceling headphones to preserve hearing. I use noise canceling on any type of headphone that I get. That is for sure. That earbud commercial they had, one of my guests crying. I'm like, no crying during my football game. Okay, well, did I even see that commercial? No, I wonder. Tell you what, I was a little angry at the television yesterday after the midday session. Okay. Anyway, that's what's going on with the hearing aid. Let's talk about this one here. The story I just threw in there. This is what everyone's been waiting for. Cyber Monday shopping set to break sales records. So we got a ton of stocks that this might apply to. I'm just going to go ahead and read off the list here real quick. Walmart, ticker WMT, Target, ticker TGT, Macy's, ticker M, Burlington, ticker BURL, Abercrombie and Fitch, ticker ANF, Kohl's, ticker KSS, Dick's, ticker DKS, Apple, ticker AAPL, Amazon, ticker AMZN, FDX, which 13 has talked about a lot, FedEx, ticker FDX, UPS, ticker UPS, CVS, Nike, ticker NIKE, ticker NKE, Ulta, ticker ULTA, DLTR for Dollar Tree, Estee Lauder, ticker EL. Those Black Friday stocks, all worth watching here. Walmart is the one that I have in focus because we've talked about this a lot, and I'm actively trying to swing trade this, and I'm actively getting a boot to the face. Walmart continues to run to the highs. They had a really good earnings report recently. Look at this chart. Look at this daily chart. Walmart rarely gets this extended, but when it does, boy, it likes to keep going. There is no sign of slowing down here on Walmart. It looked like after this breakout here at about 86 and this pop, it looked like this might be a blow-off top. And I shorted it for the first time, and it did come back in. And then it said, F you, I'm going to new highs, and it did that as well. Then it consolidated up here, gave you a tweezer top, which is a traditional reversal pattern. And the very next day, it said, F your reversal. We're going to new highs yet again. So Walmart here is actually up almost 0.4% here in the pre-market again. I actually shared with you last week a seasonality chart for Walmart where 70% of the time, Walmart trades down between Black Friday and the new year. Down 70% of the time. Pretty good odds. We haven't seen that yet. We'll see if we see that here. Just to really kind of clean this up. The positions that I'm trying to trade Walmart is the December expiry. I'm using options to define my risks so that I don't have to hold a negative carry and get blasted. I'm using options here to short. I'm long the December 83 puts. That was the first short. Those are pretty much minus 90% at this point. And then I reshorted there on the December 88 put. So at some point, I'd really like to see this turn back. I'd really like to see Walmart turn back in. Maybe have a regression back to the mean. But boy, oh boy, we have not seen that yet here, not on Walmart. So Walmart just an absolute rager. The chart that really just is mind-boggling is the monthly chart. This thing is straight vertical. And again, folks, Walmart generally doesn't move like this, but boy, oh boy, rocking right now. 87.62 on your monthly RSI. I'm not sure I've seen a reading bigger than that, to be quite honest with you. A couple of other stocks to take a look at regarding this piece of news. I know that our group has traded Target recently. You can see Target had really, really poor earnings, fell out, really kind of held the bottom, and it looks like it's trying to bust back up and fill this gap. I beg your pardon. So what we want to look for here, top of this candle from Monday, November 25th, the high that I've got there, 131.91. Let's call that 132. And if we break into that gap doesn't fill to about 155. Now, we do have some moving averages in the way right there. So we'll see if that slows it down at all or if that provides any type of resistance for Target. But this is really what I'd be looking at. The other thing here is that this gap might get tested, especially if we continue to see positive notes or positive stories about the retail shopping season, whether it be Black Friday or just the holiday season in general. Pretty soon on CNBC, you're going to start getting that countdown to Christmas thing every single day. They're going to tell you how many shopping days are left until the Christmas season. So we'll see if we get more stories out of that. I actually wouldn't be surprised if Target had an upside potential here. Of course, there might be downside if they get more negative stories, but I really think some of the negative news has been priced in at this point. And despite me not liking the store, the executive team, or the ethos of this company anymore, just kind of looking at the chart here, I sure think that this is moved to the upside. You might even be able to find some more resistance areas in here. Let's call 141 one of them. Let's call 137 a key level in here. In fact, I'm going to actually mark these off on the chart because I suspect we're going to come back to this at some point. Let's go mark this one off. 137.04. We'll go ahead and correct that here in a sec. And then the bottom of this gap also here at 141. So this area in here, I'd be curious to see what happens if we get up there. Let me fix this though. Let's do 141. Let's make sure my CDO is completely intact today. I don't absolutely lose my mind. All right, let's go down to 137. There we go. Okay, so there's our range in the middle of the gap fill though on watch. for target there. Macy's, let me check in on this here real quick. Macy's, remember, they actually had accounting issue news recently, right? They had a delayed 10K, I believe. Let's see if I can find that here. Yes, identified an issue related to its delivery expenses in one of its accrual accounts. So looks like they delayed that a little bit. So we'll see what this means here for Macy's. I don't have a position on this. Frankly, I'd rather trade some of the other retailer names. Macy's, to me, this seems like kind of an old school trade. I think you get better opportunity elsewhere. Happy to check in on that if anyone wants to, but I don't really see a trade there. Burlington Stores. This is another one that I mentioned here. This had kind of a janky, rough island here. This one looks like we might be testing upside here at 300. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see if it ends up doing that. ANF, Abercrombie and Fitch. This was a huge runner for a while. Here we are up about 1.25% here today. We're still hovering above that 200-day. Actually, we did test that. Looking at this candle here, we came all the way back in. This was the candle from Tuesday, November 26th, came all the way back in, tested that 200, tested that 50, and now we have multiple closes above that. Actually looking for our second close above that here today. We'll see if we get that on Abercrombie, ticker ANF. This holding at about 150 in here. So this looks good for some upside too, right? We recently just held that 200-day. Maybe we get a bounce here. This could be a potential swing long here on ANF. Kohl's was another one that we mentioned here. That's ticker KSS. This one to me was the short, right? This short right here is support level. By the way, big time shout out to Benzinga Edge. A Benzinga Edge actually gave Kohl's as a potential or as a trade idea here for a short. It actually broke that on earnings. Looks like it's trying to travel lower here. So big shout out to Benzinga Edge. And, while we're on the subject of that, just in case anyone is interested, because it's Black Friday, why don't we start throwing out some Black Friday sales? Market's not open yet. Why don't we do that? Here, I'm going to give you a Black Friday sale for Edge. By the way, at Benzinga here, pulling back the curtain a little bit, Black Friday is always our biggest sale. There will never be a time of the year where you get a deeper discount on any of our services than right now. So if you've been waiting, your day is today. If you would like a discount, Black Friday discount on Edge, here you go. Go ahead and use that link. If you would like a Black Friday discount on Benzinga Pro, which is obviously more expensive, but also includes Edge content, here is your link for that. So there you go. Black Friday sales in the chat. If you need help from one of our staff members, you can reach out to me or them. If you reach out to me, I will put you in contact with them. We'll make sure that we can help you. But if you've been waiting to take advantage of any of the Benzinga services, this weekend is your weekend. Also, one more thing here, special note for anyone that uses that Black Friday link that I just gave you for Benzinga Pro. If you sign up over the Black Friday weekend, that link is only going to be available for the Black Friday weekend. I think it's in the Cyber Monday, so you do have a few days here. But if you sign up for that, Anne Marie and I are actually going to host a technical analysis learning webinar. So if you want to learn TA directly from Anne Marie herself, I'm going to go through some of my setups as well in depth. That will be free. You will get free entrance to that webinar if you purchase. So one more piece of value add for you. Okay. So Kohl's, that was pretty awesome. I just want to run through a couple more of these charts. Then we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the movers that you folks want to take a look at, as well as some of just any other charts. Like I said, it is 8:34 here. We have just under an hour till the market opens. We don't have a whole lot of news. Actually, I do see one of my drone stocks popping here. So I'll take a look at that. We actually already took a look at Apple. Let me take a look at this. This is ONDS. I told you guys about this recently here. Looks like we're popping on some pretty decent volume here. This is a penny stock that's now gone back to dollar territory. Did we get news? We did. Ondas announces a note holder has elected to purchase $4.1 million in aggregate principal amount of 3% convertible notes due in 2026. Investment to support the growth of the OAS business which has experienced substantial demand, including 14.4 million in orders in Q3. Really, really awesome. So this is interesting news. The one thing that I would say here is don't chase. I really want to say that because this is actually a stock that I am invested in. I've been holding this for a while. I'm considerably underwater on this, although I am now up off the lows, and I've really done a good job lowering my cost basis. But be careful with this one. The news flow here has been really, really good. They actually, earlier this month, they got an extension to get their price back above $1. NASDAQ granted them the extension to regain compliance. They've clearly been working towards doing that here. And now we've got a potential order here, potential amount of 3% of its convertible notes. This all seems like good information. So maybe we get a little bit of a run here. I actually was not expecting this. Just kind of noticed that this was happening. Giddy up. This is a good start to Black Friday here. Ticker ONDS, small drone stock here, popping on some pretty good news. And this has actually had some pretty good news flow recently. So cool. Cool. Okay. I wanted to take a look at one more of those retailers here, and then we'll turn it over to the chat and we'll take a look at everything you guys want to take a look, guys and gals, beg your pardon. Take a look at everything you folks want to take a look at. Nike is the stock. So this one was a bummer. I had this thing absolutely lined up for a potential short trade. Ended up getting flushed out of this one, unfortunately. Still made some profit, but I was looking for $10 in profit. I think I only got $1.50, so really kind of disappointing. We did come in and we hit my target. So my target was 75 to 77. And on the down move, we actually printed in a 72 handle, didn't we? Did this get all the way down to 72? It did. 72, 71 at the low. Now we've kind of held that area. That area corresponds with another low that we held back in the summer. So we'll see if that holds up here. Nike, though, the bottom, at least now for the holiday season and all of that, the temporary bottom might be in. No position here for me, at least not right now. Looks like we're trying to actually break out from the 100-day here. The last time we traded up off this level, we found some resistance at the 50-day. Maybe on the second attempt, we may be able to go through there. Obviously, that 200-day up there at 86.43. So if I were trading Nike here, I'm not. I've got no trade on this and no plans to trade it. But if I were, despite being bearish recently, I actually think the next trade here is a move to the long side. So we'll see. Lulu getting mentioned in the chat. That also fits in with our retail here, and this is actually at a really good spot, so we might as well cover this as well. Lulu up. We're going to bring on 13 too. 13, good morning. For happy Black Friday. It's great to see you here. Happy belated Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody else that's out there watching.
Yeah, I'm just going to spill the beans here. 13 sent me a picture of the turkey that he fried for Thanksgiving, and it looked absolutely unbelievable. So hats off to you. Was it as good as it looked?
Yes, it was wonderful.
Okay, very simple. Very simple.
I mean, go ahead and share the picture if you want, but we can.
I don't have it all queued up here. I wish I did. I don't have it all queued up here. I didn't ask you for permission, so I didn't queue it up here. But promise.
I don't know what you're covering right now, but I'm looking. I opened my broker, and VCIG is just on a tear right now.
Okay, perfect. We have not covered the movers yet. I've been trying to hold it off here. The chat is starting to get antsy. I think that they're ready to cover the movers. So we're going to finish up with Lululemon here. Just really quickly, 13. The couple of things, or what we're currently covering, I'm going to go ahead and again throw the link to the story in the chat here. We're covering that Black Friday and Cyber Monday shopping is actually set to break sales records, and this includes a lot of the retailers. I actually started off with Walmart since I'm short Walmart, and I'm finishing up here with Lululemon. So really quick, I just want to finish here. Lululemon looks like we are testing a potential breakout of the 200-day here. If you are bullish on Lululemon, a cross of this 200-day would be amazing. We've actually recently tested it twice here, been unable to break it. Maybe third time is the charm. If we do, the immediate target that I see here is going to be 360, which is right above the 500-day. That would be an awesome 40-point move, basically, from where we're at. So Lululemon, to me, it seems like the next move here is to the upside. I did actually get an email this morning. It was either this morning or late yesterday. Lululemon's Black Friday sale is open. They did not have like a site-wide sale. It looks like there's only sales on specific items. So that leads me to believe that they're probably doing okay here. They don't feel the need to just say, hey, take 30% off our entire website. I don't know. That's just my read on it, but keep that under your hat. Earnings on December 5th here for Lululemon. That's 6 days from now, this Thursday, December 5th, after the close. So keep that in mind if you're going to trade that. Factor that into your trading.
Pay very close attention to how they guide. That's going to be one of the earliest retailers. It's going to tell you how they expect their holiday sales to look.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Morning, Judge.
Real quickly here, this was a good question. I skipped over this earlier. I actually love your avatar too, just a raging inferno. That's really awesome. How are people brave enough to short stocks? I feel like that could be bad karma, but the lab opposite says that maybe they have different stocks to hedge against me. I don't know how it works. So I can answer your first part here. How are people brave enough to short stocks? Shorting is generally speaking not part of my investment thesis. I generally don't like to expose myself to unlimited risk. However, I recognize that stocks do also trade down, and we like to try to take advantage of that. The way I do this, CDOT, is I use options. I define my risk ahead of the trade so that there cannot possibly get into a situation where I'm like, oh no, what do I do here? So totally get it when it comes to shorting and all of that, but there are other ways to manage your risk there. Okay, let's see. Did I miss anything else?
Yeah, I also had a question about what would it take for NVIDIA to do a 2-for-3 or 2 or 3 for 1 reverse stock split. That's not how they're going to
they're not going to reverse.
Structure. Yeah. They would buy back shares and then cancel them. That's how they would reduce their share size, but they're not going to reverse stock split.
Okay. All right. And then the other thing, just as a reminder, it is Black Friday here, and Benzinga currently has our best sale running. So I did throw those sale links for Edge and Pro. I'll do it again a little bit later, but 13, now that you're here, happy Friday. Let's take a look at some of the movers. All right. Let's figure out what we can do here today. I'm going to flip over to the movers tab that I have designated. We are going to start with devs right here at the top. And this actually interesting. So this also had a piece of news here this morning. Really quick, penny stock now popping the dollar territory. DevStream shares are trading higher after the company announced a partnership with Medellin Solar Power to enter the REC market in Asia.
Okay.
Yep. I'm not sure what that means either. Stock is still up 41% here.
Let me see here. The float on this looks like 6.5 million, according to FinBiz. I don't see a read for some Pro, but it's probably just let's take a look at some other metrics here, because there's something else that's probably helping this move along. You have to just give me a second to see what.
Yeah, no problem. I'm actually testing out this link here real quick. It looks good on my end. Link looks good here on my end, Donnie. So let me actually get one of my sales guys here real quick to help you out. Pre-market prep split off and they're doing their own thing now, John.
An ESG company. Yeah, I don't really see the good solid reason for this to move like it is. I mean, it's probably just getting a lot of attention because it's in that same kind of general theme of these under $1 penny stocks that are falling or that are trying to regain compliance. I'm not saying this one's trying to do that, but it just kind of falls in with that overall theme, and it's likely getting pumped. I don't see anything that's gonna I can actually hang my hat on that would actually make sense for this movement, but this is the catalyst. So the only other thing that I would do is just try to identify some levels.
Yeah,
to get a
I
trade
mean,
here.
just looking at this, I would probably, I think actually think we have some better opportunities here. Like you had mentioned, VSIG. So I'd probably stay away from this. But looking at this, at least for right now, the dollar level would probably be my break point. It's already provided a support area here once to the price today. I'm not really interested in penny stocks. So downside here, support, I'd be looking at about $1. I'd really like to see this move through the VWAP here at 120. We actually had several trades earlier this week that had really good VWAP busts and pushes from. I'd love to see that here again on devs, but not a company I'm familiar with. Also don't have some of the same readings that you do. So just play the chart, right? Play the chart.
Yeah. Just kind of, I'm going to wait until closer to we open and take a look and see how the volume is at that point.
Okay. That's it on devs. Next one here is PRZO Technologies. This is another penny stock that had a huge move.
This one looks better. This one looks like it wants to take out 120 right now.
Okay. We'll see. This actually had a big impulse move already, came back in, and you're right. Looks like this is going back right up to the top. Here's the news on this. ParaZero Technology shares trading higher after the company announced received a designation verification report approval from the European Union Aviation Safety Agency. What a mouthful. For its Safe Air M300 Pro and Safe Air M350 Pro parachute safety kits. Okay. So that also sounds pretty good, but also kind of fluffy. No insider activity there, negligible short interest, but a float of under 10 million. So maybe we do get a run here.
I mean, that the news sounds or just completely reads better than that other one. It actually have some real information in there. So this being a drone safety systems company, and they're basically parachutes are what they do. I think that's a big deal for them. Getting approval for their product to be used in European airspace. That's a positive step. So that makes more sense than the last company we were looking at. 9 million shares in the float, so within the range.
Better structure for us to trade too. It's kind of like that more just in general.
Don't see much in the way of short interest. Don't see any reverse splits. I don't have any read on their income. They seem to have about a little more than 5 million cash on hand. So don't know what their financial performance is like, but hey, this is moving the stock. I mean, it's taken it out of sub $1 territory for the time being. But right now, based on the way the price action is looking, it seems like it wants to take out 120. Lots of upper shadows here around that area as well. It seems like 120. I mean, we have made some prints slightly higher than 120 in the pre-market, but it seems like right about at 120 where most of the selling starts to occur. So I think that's the level we need to watch for a breakout in PRZO.
Okay. Really good stuff. We'll see if we get that. Again, I really want this one to stay above $1 to be interested in it.
Yeah. You know what, Big B's? It is type of a drone play. I would pretty much kind of agree with that. Even though their focus is on parachutes, I think they are, in that drone space. We can consider that. Absolutely.
Sorry. Dealing with a lot of stuff on my own over here. Apologize. All right. Next one here is going to be BSLK. This is Bolt Projects Holding, another penny stock. Like I said, folks, I understand penny stocks are not everyone's favorite, including my own, but we are scraping the bottom of the barrel here on a Black Friday. We have not got to Silo or VSIG yet, or UMAC, but we are getting there. BSLK, Bolt Project shares are trading higher. The company announced a private placement of 1.06 million shares for $360,000 in gross proceeds. Stock popped as high as 160. It's flirting with $1 level right now. I don't have a float reading on this. You might not have anything else on this 13.
Well, let's see if I can find a float reading on this, but this is that's a very small amount of money to run a private placement for, in my opinion. Looks like there's about a little more than 10 million shares in the float.
This seems scammy to me. X-Sniper here asking a very reasonable question. What does this company do? Like one of the most reasonable questions in the world. It's formerly Golden Arrow Merger Corp. It's a shell company.
Yeah.
So I mean,
trade
look,
only.
Yeah, I mean, not only trade only, but I mean, be careful trade only, right? The only thing I'm not even sure. Like,
maybe
we're trying,
shine it.
we're trying to figure out if this is a good amount of money, what the company does. I mean, look, just look at the chart here. We got better options. We got better options here.
Yeah, I mean, I just put it on my list here. So if I do see some changes in the price, we'll take a look at what it's doing. But yeah, like you said, there's probably better things out there to trade.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of those, you ready for PGHL? I'm not, all jokes aside, I'm not even sure if this is going to be one of the ones that's better to trade, but this thing recently was wild. Remember, this was the mega halt box job Chinese thing. This thing went up to 200, came all the way back in. I'm sure people got hit. Look at this. On Wednesday, it did nothing but get pounded. We moved from $13 down to $2. I guess keep this one on the back burner in case it like bounces or moves or something like that. But man, oh man, I mean, this might not even be a real company, straight up. Mega Group Holdings.
There's probably a lot of companies on the market like this that aren't real. But
Hong Kong construction. This to me looks like fraud. I can't believe the SEC allows this, but they do. So if you trade this one, be careful. This stock's no stranger to getting halted and then staying halted and being halted for a while. So just know what you're trading. Be careful. I would not advise that.
Yeah, I haven't really heard of them doing a whole lot of construction in Hong Kong anyway, and their real estate market is absolutely hammered. So with some real data there, we can kind of infer that this is just an absolute joke. This company, the PGHL.
Yeah, just be careful. Just be careful. What happened with it last session? Did it really trade at $100 plus? So I don't know if that was last session. No, it wasn't last session, but the session before, yes, we do have candles up here. Here's the deal though, X-Sniper. I can't tell you if one of those trades were broken. The volume that I have here is 76,000 shares. All right, 76,000 shares, and then the very next candle, almost 39,000 shares. So it does look like it, but those trades might have been broken. This thing is scammy as hell. I wouldn't even feel comfortable. I wouldn't even feel comfortable with it. So it is what it is. Yeah, we'll take a look here at SYM. That's actually a good one. We covered that recently, Kip. But we'll cover that again here. SYM also has some accounting issues, so be careful there. We'll take a look at this in a sec. Let's knock out a few more of these movers here. UMAC. At this point, can we call it an ex-girlfriend? Because this was a banger on Wednesday. We actually, I don't know, did you trade this one? I know I did a few times.
I don't remember if I did or not. I might have. But I'm not. I'm just going to say probably not. So. Because there were other things that were moving that.
Yeah, I was scalping this one. I was scalping this one on Wednesday, and honestly, I'd be willing to scalp this one again here today. The price action here in the pre-market looks great. I think so too. It looks like it's testing it right now. No position right now. I'm actually going to wait for the regular market to open before I do any of these trades here today. But this one was good last time, and it looks good again here. This little breakout, I guess you could call it, really kind of pushed away from this 11 area here. Volume is not gigantic, but notable. And again, there's obviously traders at their desk here this morning. And if the SPY or the broader market, which just lost 600, by the way, is not going to trade up, then maybe some of these smaller names will. UMAC here, this one definitely keep on watch. One of the things I'm going to be waiting for is pull back towards the VWAP. I don't want to chase any of these names coming out of the open. Just not at all. Let's wait for them to give us a really good setup here. If you want to trade this 14 break to the upside, good luck. I'm going to wait for buying at a support level. You got anything here on UMAC?
Well, just in general for today, because you brought up a good point about how, it's, half day, it's Black Friday. People aren't at their desks as much, or they're on vacation. So the trades that we've been seeing work out pretty well. We're not going to have as much participation in the market, so they may not work as well. Should still work, but not as well. Like we might not see these massive runs that we've been seeing lately, or we might not see more and more buyers step in to come and continue to lift the stock up. This may be a day where we want to keep our stops a little bit tighter.
Yeah,
or maybe even consider taking gains a little bit earlier, just for protection purposes. You guys trade how you're going to trade, but just keep in mind that we are dealing with a lot, smaller crowd today.
Yep. Totally agree with that. And then really quick here, what was the deal here on UMAC? Remember, we got a news here that Trump Jr. Joined the board. This also related to the drone theme that we've seen take off. Okay, that is that. So VSIG is next. All right, you were saying is you got on here 13 and you immediately commented on VSIG. Here we go. VSIG popping. It's had just a ridiculous day on Wednesday. But here we go. Popping again here in the pre-market, actually using the VWAP as resistance. Impulse move back to the VWAP, another impulse move. Now we're back to the VWAP. So what say you? What's next? It's holding 5.
We know this is a junk company, but we also understand what this is, and we were expecting to see trades like this at some point in this one. Now, having said all that, I'm not expecting that we're going to get what we had on Wednesday. So if we end up getting it, that'll be great. But I think it's good to temper expectations. When I opened my broker this morning, I saw it running up to 566. I was getting excited. Maybe we do see it go higher. We have levels to the left we can look at for that. Seems like the pre-market high is based almost exactly the same as the rebound from Wednesday when the stock started to sell off. You can kind of see that there, right? The pre-market high was also the rebound. There you go,
right here.
So there's one level that we're trying to hold above, and that if we lose that level, that could be probably pretty bad for the rest of the day for this stock. But if we continue to push up, then we have levels we can draw from over here to the left, and do 660 might be one. 774 was the high that day, so there's 2 potential levels there. But I think we just need to make sure that this is going to continue to run. And one of the things it's doing right now is basing and trying to get ready to push up to another new pre-market high. So just need to see if we start to get that. I'm a little bit cautious on that, like for the reasons I already mentioned, though. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
And Line Atlas probably has the right idea, not touching any penny stocks today.
Yeah, I mean, look, we have a couple of these other stocks that are actually several dollars here that are actually real companies. In fact, this next one I'll go to, we'll come back to Silo, but this next one here, look at Archer.
Yeah.
Look at Archer. Can I get my shares back, dude? I sold these in the 6 handle at a profit after being down almost 50% on my initial buy here. Did a really good job with it, but this keeps moving here. $9 test going on in the pre-market. This is a legit company. I would much rather trade this than I'll just say this, than any of the penny stock names we talked about earlier, including this PRZO that was a penny stock and moved into dollar territory. Forget it. Give me one of the real companies here. Archer, you got anything on this one?
So this, yes, it's a real company. They are still, not in full swing for their revenue. They have a long way to go. They still have to finish the facility that's going to be building these things that they partnered with Stellantis on. We just started seeing, I think more than anything, squeezing of the shorts. This has a high short interest. It's had a high short interest for a long time, but because of all the excitement surrounding drones, and we've been getting a lot of eVTOL news, and rates are coming down. So a lot of these, names that depend upon lower rates are starting to come back up. So a combination of different things is really helping this to lift up. Joby also, come up as well. But this company is also expected to start having their aircraft, fly in the skies later this year, later next year. So that could be something. I think that's another reason why it's going up, because they're so close to, being a reality. So I don't know what the news is today, but I think it's probably based off the price action we were getting earlier this week.
I don't see any news here. The one piece of news that's slated for today was actually a partner link article. So this was not news. This was created probably previous to Thanksgiving. So this to me just kind of seems like momentum, maybe relative volume. Excuse me. I don't see any fresh news driving this here today. All right, let's go to Silo, and then we will check ASPI. I know a number of you are bringing up ASPI in the chat. That was a recent move that we had actually talked about on here, short report. So we'll take a look at that here in a sec. Let's get Silo out of the way here. There's another penny stock flirting with dollar territory that we've traded before. I will pass on this, but Silo Pharma shares are trading higher after the company announced a collaboration agreement with Chymanox for the specialized drug design and development of subcutaneous insertion device. That actually sounds dirty and not for a family show. For SP26, a ketamine-loaded implant therapeutic targeting fibromyalgia and chronic pain. Okay. I'm going to avoid this one just straight up. This it did pop to 130 here. We came back down. Looks like we're flirting with the dollar. We are trying to hold on to a dollar. So that's going to be one of your downside levels there. Insiders here. Looks like we did recently have some insider buying here at 93 cents. Looks like they only bought 5,000 shares. So not a whole lot going on there. Financials. The company does actually have cash. Almost can't even believe that. It burns cash, but it has enough for several quarters here. So maybe not necessarily looking for an offering right away, but here we go. What do you got here on Silo?
Silo is going to be a wait to the open for me. The MACD looks like it really wants to, it was indicating that the price is set up to go lower. And if it does, it seems like maybe 98 cents could be a support area. It seems like that's what we were getting this morning was about that. The print after we popped to 134 was actually, 97 cents. So 97, 98 cents. That might be the area we get support at if the price falls down there. But lower than that through the 65 and 200 EMAs, just wouldn't want to touch that afterwards. Okay.
That is what's going on here on Silo. Okay, let's do ASPI here. Let me make sure I got that right. ASPI. Let's talk about
this. There was one thing I saw. Yes, Izzy Archer. I think it's overextended now as well. Absolutely. And then Tame Craziness. I don't remember if they partnered with Uber or not. It was Stellantis they partnered with because they are the ones that are be building the vehicles for them. And I believe it's Georgia. But I want to say they may have just floated that idea, but I don't recall 100% if they had partnered with Uber. I'm not sure. It's ringing a bell though.
Okay. ASPI here. So really not a whole lot of pre-market movement. And you can see this stock really has traded down. What's going on here? A couple of things. So I'm going to first go with the rumor here. We were watching a rumor that traders were circulating a rumor about a short report being issued. We did, of course, get confirmation that Fuzzy Panda issued the short report. That's actually in here. Fuzzy Panda. Here we go. So that's actually in here. Now we did get a response. Okay. So we actually, and actually shout out to our news desk team. Looks like our news desk team, I'm going to have them confirm this for us, but from looking at the news feed and knowing how things work here, it looks like our news desk team actually reached out to them and got a response as an exclusive before the company issued a press release on their response. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I'm 99% sure that's what happened. If I'm correct on that, big time shout out for our news desk for tracking this down and actually doing the work here. ASP Isotope spokesperson in response to the earlier report says, quote, "We are aware of the report by a known activist short seller who stands to realize gains by company shares declining in value. The report includes inaccurate claims and innuendo in an attempt to mislead investors. As a public company traded on NASDAQ, we direct investors to our public filings made with the SEC." So that looks like just kind of, they're basically denying the short report, and there's some CYA telling them to look at the filings here. 13, what's your reaction to this?
So remind me if Fuzzy Panda's one of the good short reporters or not.
I don't believe that they are. I believe Fuzzy Panda called the boot bar. Let me check.
Did they do iNod too?
Let me check. I'm pretty sure that they called Boot Barn, which went straight north from that. Mm-hmm. Let me check here real quick.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm getting at.
Lion Atlas has already figured it out. Lion Atlas has already figured it out.
Exactly. That's kind of the point I was getting at, because some of these are, short reports are not made by reputable organizations, and it pulls the stock price down. And sometimes it's speculated or later found out they did that in order to create a market entry for some other company, kind of like with iNod. That got that. I mean, I'm not saying that they did. I think Brian's going to look that up for us. But when
Wolfpack Research. Okay, so iNod back in February was Wolfpack Research.
Okay.
Okay, so the other one that I wanted to check here was Boot Barn. That's ticker BOOT, and we want to. By the way, look at how awesome Pro is for this. You can search for tickers and keywords here. So I'm just doing that real quick.
Yeah, but that's the point I was making.
And Boot Barn was Spruce Point.
But yeah, so you get these short reporters to come in. They pull the stock down, and then it just rips because everybody that wanted to jump into it at a lower price got in.
All right, so now we're going to search for Fuzzy Panda. Looks like in October they gave a short report on Stride, ticker LRN. Stride, by the way, also said false and misleading allegations. They're using the exact same language from the short report here today.
When was that?
I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. The response was on the 22nd, so October 21st.
Okay, and that was what ticker? What?
LRN.
LRN. Okay, and what has the stock done since? This is exactly what we're talking about.
So here, I'll do it since I'm sharing my screen. Sorry, I was looking that up.
No problem.
You got the dates there, right?
Yeah. All you have to do is just look what happened in October.
Ah, right here.
So yes, so sometimes these short reports are full of BS, and it leads to things like this.
So I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen here on AASPI. It's not a stock that I follow. It looks like Nick has been doing some digging into that. So good stuff there. But keep that in mind. That's what's going on with the short report. Lion Atlas is wasting no time. If Fuzzy Panda did it, I'm going long. LOL. Good luck there. Good luck there, Lion. And good stuff here. Ticker LRN. Okay. What do you want to do next? Did we hit all the movers we wanted to hit? I think we did, right? Rigetti's trading up. MSTR is trading up. We're going to be taking a look at that as well. But I'm pretty sure we hit all of these, didn't we?
I'm just looking through some of these other ones that I have on my list that are moving. It looks like this morning we have RCAT up 9%, SOS up 38%, Bloom Energy getting it's slightly higher this morning, but it had a big had some selling on Wednesday, so just kind of curious to see what that happens with that one today. And then also, what else do we have here? Okay, so Carmen just mentioned this one, and I have it on my list as well. PDYN, Paladine AI Corp.
This has been a recent mover. Yeah, yep. Absolutely. Let's do it.
So those are the ones that were starting to move, and then also apparently SKK is moving as well. But let's take a look here at PDYN. What do we?
So PDYN, not a whole lot going on here in the pre-market, but that's okay. We could still see fireworks when the market opens. This is actually about 50% of the way through the big move that we got. That big move came on Tuesday. This was a great trade. I think it was Wiss that was calling this live in the chat. This is an AI company. How good is this company? I don't really know yet. Float 27 million, so it's not like a micro float. So it should be a little bit easier to trade here. Software company focused on autonomy for robotic systems. Its artificial intelligence and machine learning software seeks to revolutionize the capability of robots. What do you think about that, 13?
Sorry, I was trying to read something, so I didn't catch everything you said.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if I could find anything that I was curious about. But let's see. With this,
the one thing here, 13, is that it looks like it does have a little bit of revenue, but really not much, and it's still kind of expensive, right? Less than $1 million in revenue, market cap of about 160.5 million. I still think we probably have like a cash issue here. They've got some cash on the balance sheet. They burn cash every quarter, so at some point that's going to need to come to a head. But that's basically what I see here in terms of the financials.
Yeah, they don't have really much debt to worry about. Yeah, unless there's one of these contracts. They started getting contracts, right? That's one of the been the headlines in this company lately. Yes.
Yes, and recent insider buys.
Okay, so I guess I'd be curious to see what they report on their next ER. see if those contracts are reflected in that. We also had a lot of insider buying.
Now this insider buying, it looks like the price that some of these insiders were buying at were $2.20. They're already a double from that.
Well, I've seen some 116s. Yeah.
So
I guess I don't know where this is going to end up going, but float slow enough. It's got to getting contracts. I just want to see some of that financial reporting as a result of getting those contracts. See where this
per Carmen, they're connected with RCAT, which is why she likes it so much.
Okay.
So there you go. Nick, you'd be happy to know. I don't worry about the AI robots anymore because Voodoo came on here and gave me an extremely effective shell for a shotgun that will stop robots. So now we're at a point where I'm not really worried anymore. We're ready to go, Nick. So don't worry about
that. Crimp Biscuit saying SOS going. This one is pushing up through the pre-market high, making new pre-market highs. Intraday high on Wednesday was 1551.
Yeah. Yep. That level we're for sure going to be watching. This is wild. This is the other thing to know about this. There were a ton of bag holders from the initial crypto move on this name. That was a really good spot from you, 13. I actually went back. This is just kind of like a funny aside. I don't really know what it means. There were a bunch of Twitch streamers during that time that for whatever reason chose SOS as the stock to buy. So I wonder how many bags are still left out there if this continues to trade up. Your point about the intraday high here, watch if that gets snapped. This thing could get wild.
Yeah, it looks like 15 even is a big resistance area because you do have some price action above it, 1551, for example, but it doesn't look like anything really held above 15. So 15 looks like the really big level to break out over. That's where I would be keeping my eyesights on for a breakout in this one.
Okay. And really quick, just to checking across the wires here as an update. No, Eberflus has not yet been fired. So we're still waiting for that news drop here. We'll see what takes place. Okay, let's take a look at SYM. Someone wanted to take a look at that. Let's do that here real quick. Then I'll be happy to take a look at any of the other stocks you folks want to take a look at here. But let's go. Ticker SYM. This is Symbotic. One of the questions recently that we had a number of things going on here. They recently sold off and bounced a little bit. But down here a little bit in the pre-market, here's the one thing I want you to remember about this. Here we go. We got this news. This was Wednesday in the morning. Symbotic reports delay in filing the annual report on their 10K, says it requires additional time to complete assessment of financial impacts or correcting an error related to system revenue recognition. So this very much like SMCI, you've got a problem with some of its accounting. Do they clean this up? Maybe. If they do clean this up, could this be a potential long side trade? Sure. But we don't know that that's the case. And honestly, I'm not, outside of just kind of day trading this, I'm not willing to bet on that. We've seen a lot of these companies really kind of get in trouble. Also worth noting, D.A. Davidson, after this news, downgraded them to neutral, lowered the price target to 35. That's still 12 points above where we're at. KeyBank downloaded them to sector weight. So it looks like even some of the bigger houses, they're going to wait this one out. They're going to not go after this one. Looking at the chart here again, one of the other things, 13, that you had spotted recently is that, hey, we actually had this inverse head and shoulders that looked like it resolved. And then we got this news, fully resolved. Then we got this news, bang, right back down to some of these levels. Now, these levels should provide us some support levels.
Yes. So, we would, I would be looking at, let's see, 21. We got pretty close to that level already. But that's the kind of the bottom from the left shoulder, that inverse head and shoulders. And of course, you look at the bottom of the head, which would be was it
1750? I'm just going to call it 1750, honestly.
Okay, so you can just do that 1750 somewhere in there. It could be because that's a consolidation for like about a week down there before it reversed. So that could be a demand zone as well. Those would be the two earliest ones. Of course, previous price action back from 22 is going to give us some more levels, but we'd have to be seeing the price start to make its way down there before we start looking at those levels. But there you go, 21 and 1750.
Okay.
Support levels for SYM.
Boom. We'll see what this gives us here today. Volume kind of low here in the pre-market, but we'll see what happens when that picks up. See what happens when that picks up here.
Lion Atlas was mentioning Chewy.
Chewy. One of my favorite companies, and that's actually been a fairly decent stock here. Here is Chewy, 33.59 here in the pre-market. It's actually recently had a pretty decent move too.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see this down at more of a support first. RSI still a little bit high. I'd actually like for this to come in a little bit more before trying some, honestly.
This is kind of taking a bit of a little bit of a staircase up here, isn't it? Just trying to draw a trend line here to see if we can get an idea of where some support would be if it comes back in. Because you can use some of these lows that it's been putting in throughout the year to draw a trend line. And if we start breaking beneath that trend line, that's going to be an indicator that more downside is coming. So that's what I would just do for one with Chewy, just to give myself that technical level there. But if this does come back in further, there's the 20-day SMA that could provide support. It's should be getting support from the highs from September 17th. It looks like it may already have, maybe not, but that would be another level to watch for as well. They also have earnings in 5 days, so I don't know that we're going to get such price action that's going to take us down to this trend line, or even below the 50-day SMA, but it could. We'll have to wait and see what happens. So we get that next week.
The one thing with the earnings too, 13, is that because we've kind of had this recent move from the end of October up, we've basically moved from 27 to 36. Now I understand that there's two little pullbacks in here, but we've recently kind of moved up into these earnings. In order for me to play this for earnings, I'd actually like to see this sell off. If this sold off over these next few days here leading into that earnings report, I could see myself taking some of that for alongside trade for the earnings, but don't have it yet.
Daniel's mentioning VCIG. It's looking like it's trying to get ready to push up to the next level, but what price are you interested in for Chewy real quick before we leave that one?
Oh, okay. So you mean if it continued to pull back? Honestly, I'd like to see it pull back to 30, because that would give me, I know that would take out this recent low here, but that would also put us right at the 50-day moving average. Okay. I'd like to see it come down to a moving average. That area was also a consolidation area in here.
Yep. Okay. So about the 50, that makes sense. That looks good. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Yep. Okay. What other stocks do you want? Oh, VSIG. That was what we were going to go to next here. Let's go ahead and pull that up real fast. Here is your VSIG. Boy, I'll tell you what, the daily chart here on VSIG looks really bad. We're going to stick with the 15-minute chart because we're concerned with this recent price action here. Yeah.
So need to see a little bit more volume in this one. It does look like it's trying to curl and take out that pre-market high, which was 566. But it needs a lot more volume than this that it has right now in order to get up there and push through. So this is what I was saying. Be cautious about this earlier. Need to see a lot more volume in this one, and the MACD is indicating that it might roll over here and lose VWAP. So unless we get that push in volume, I think this one is going to end up going lower.
Okay. Again, the move here on Wednesday was gigantic, and we had gentlemen in the happy hour buying this at like $2, $2.30 or something like that. Just crazy. Okay. What else do you folks want to take a look at? UMAC, you guys are mentioning UMAC. Is that going ballistic again here? Looks like this is actually just sitting right at its VWAP. Let's see if 14 would be one of the upside levels here. 1250 on a downside. I could actually see this really pulling back to an 11 handle too. I'm definitely interested in scalping this one here today. But I want to wait out that opening print. Especially with this late run here in the pre-market, I'd like to see this come back in, maybe hold one of those levels, give us an opportunity here.
Yeah, I like your 14
on deck today.
I like your 14 level. I also like that it's still holding VWAP. I think that's going to be a big indicator of what we're going to get out of the open, where it is relative to the VWAP. So currently above that right now, but man, volume's not looking great.
Yeah. We'll see. Let's see what happens when the market actually opens here. Anything up or anything else? Anything up? Good. There's plenty of stuff that's up. SPNX from Izzy. Did I mistype SPNX? Izzy, did you mess that ticker up? SPNX?
Morning, Walter.
I don't have a ticker for that. Good morning, Walter. Yeah, I don't. Let me know. Let me know what you guys. Vuzi? Oh, sorry. There is no try. You'd mentioned Vuzi a number of times. I don't think we took a look at that yet here. Vuzi still doing a decent job holding that $2 level. Did we have any recent news that was?
Just the there's a recent order from a major defense customer. They didn't, specify who. And this, smart glass availability for much lower price than what they've had their previous smart glasses go for, which was over four figures. So yeah, the news is a little bit from this week in particular was kind of weak. I don't know, the six-figure order. That's really nothing. But I know that Vuzix is not a huge company either. Still, I mean, the fact that rates are coming down is helpful for it, but it is moving on what seems to be, relatively light news. But it could be that it's been heavily shorted too, which the shortage was like, okay, there you go, 15.5%, 16 days to cover. So even though the news was a little bit weak, we have some other things here that are allowing it to move up. Float's a little bit large, 68 million shares, almost 69 million shares, but maybe there's maybe they're going to have a plan for how to handle their share structure, because for a company like this, I think that's a little bit heavy.
Okay. Good stuff there. Real quick, I just want to check. Oh, is Ryan gonna have a turkey crack day? Look at ONDS, baby. Look at ONDS. Let's effing go, dude. This is all I needed. This is all I needed here. 120 ONDS popping on volume, given that news there. And then so they're increasing their money. The contracts are coming. I got to think that pretty soon you're actually going to get a guidance raise here on ONDS. And if you do that, that thing could really kick this here. So ONDS.
You already covered the news on this, or is this the first time?
Yeah. Brought this one up earlier when it broke here. Announced that a note holder has elected to purchase $4.1 million in aggregated principal amount of 3% convertible notes due in 2026. And then the OAS business, which has experienced substantial demand, including 14.4 million in orders in Q3 2024. So again, I really think that this is actually going to result at some point. I can't tell you when, but at some point, this is going to result in a guidance increase. You just talked about if rates continue to get cut, that should really help small cap companies. It's an Israeli drone play. Should be in good shape here with this one.
Yeah, they have almost 31 million in debt due over the next 12 months.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of thing that is going to help push that, some of that debt out further.
Yes, sir. By the way, tamed craziness. Mark Andreessen said that 90% of military drones are Chinese made on the Joe Rogan show. That Joe Rogan episode with Andreessen is awesome. It is awesome. I'm actually currently on that one, almost done with it. Going to finish it here today. Recommend that to anyone else out there. They talk a lot about drone stuff and technology stuff in that episode. Good mention there. Okay, what else do we want to take a look at here? We should have plenty of time, right? 7 minutes here. We're running out of time. Oh, Lion Atlas wanted to check Mara and Riot. Good call on that one.
And then we could do Zoom and AVAV, since that's getting mentioned as well.
Okay. I actually did see some news here. I don't have it here, and I don't want to misquote it, but I did see some news that Mara is actually adding even more Bitcoin to their balance sheet. Remember, Mara is the company behind MicroStrategy in terms of largest Bitcoin holdings for public companies. So they're doing really good there, but I don't have that news here. I'll see if I can find it. Putin signed a bill recognizing Bitcoin as property in Russia too. So maybe that's good for the entire Bitcoin space. ONDS continuing to push highs here.
I just saw that too. I like what crypto's doing. Giving us a lot of trades and whatnot. But a part of me just can't shake the feeling that cryptocurrency is a really good way for making a lot of money disappear. I mean, a lot of money disappear. So we start investors start piling money into buy Bitcoin, and that it continues to rise. But with the value of Bitcoin drops, that's a lot of money that just goes away instantly. So just kind of something that's always in the back of my head. I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but I can't help shake that feeling. I don't know if anybody else is feeling that same way too, but this is just.
Yeah, I feel the opposite. I mean, every little bit of money that I've put into Bitcoin has multiplied, and I'm at the point now where I'm 10x. So
well, I understand that. I'm saying it has the capability of making a lot of money disappear like that.
It also has the capability of making a lot of governments that manipulate the currency really nervous. So I'm okay with that. Like I said, I'm going to see how the chips fall on the whole Bitcoin story here. Mara, though, Lion, as far as I'm concerned here, let's see, what's the Bitcoin futures chart doing here? Bitcoin futures / BTC, again, holding here 98,500. So we'll see if that makes a run at 100K here. That should help these stocks. Yeah.
RCAT, new pre-market high, 1023 now. It just had a big pop.
Okay. You also wanted to do Zoom and AVAV, so ticker ZM. Had earnings here recently, has not recovered from that, but really hasn't broke down a whole lot. Actually, looks like option sellers won that play on Zoom.
Yeah, I think this was lower on their guidance, right?
Yeah, I believe it was.
And then they got a whole slew of price targets. Some of them raised.
Yeah, here's the headline that you needed, 13. Zoom video analysts say guidance points to decelerating growth after a decent quarter. So you're absolutely right on the guidance there. Yeah, good stuff.
And we kind of talked about that in the happy hour about, where does a company like this go now? Like they'd have to come up with some kind of new innovative way for video conferencing. Releasing a new set of emojis isn't going to do anything for growth. You know what I mean? So it's got to be something revolutionary that makes it easier for consumers to use, more accessible, and probably even more economically viable. But anyway.
That is Zoom. Let's take a look at the daily chart here real quick on Zoom. You can see we did come up off the bottom. And now you do have some of these gaps here. So maybe if we break above 86 here, gap fill up to 88. This candle does not look bullish. This kind of what do you call that, a dragonfly doji? Which one is that?
The one right here. That's at the top. At the top.
Shooting star. Yeah, shooting star. Yeah.
That's a bearish candle. Absolutely. So let's see if it can. I think that might be too high, but let's see if it can get back up over 88. That would change the whole bearish sentiment, in my opinion. I think it's going to have a hard time filling that gap that you were talking about. So that's the thing I would want to watch for. Can it get into that gap and fill it? I think we'll know in maybe not today, but in the next week.
Okay. All right. 3 minutes till we open here. Also, is anyone willing to share their best Black Friday or Thanksgiving holiday purchase yet? Has anyone found any really good deals? Curious. And actually, 13, I'm going to step away 1 sec before we open. I'm going to get ready for the open. BRB.
Sounds good. How was everybody's Thanksgiving, by the way? I enjoyed my deep frying, and I enjoyed the football games. Now that he's gone, we can probably talk about that, right? Anyway, hopefully you folks had a good time. What do we want to watch out of the open here? Because what I have on my look at RCAT, that just had a little bit of a pull. What do we want to look at for the open here? It looks like Debs is trying to push back over its VWAP right now. VSIG, this one still looking a little bit shaky here, trying to hold its VWAP into the open. SOS, oh gosh, that had a pop up to 1435, made new pre-market highs, and then had a matching candle come right back in. Still trying to hold VWAP at the moment, but the volume isn't looking too great. Archer, this one's selling into the open. Amazon pullback. Got a good deal on some weed concentrate. You go, boy. All right. Great food, great company. All my family in one place for the first time in months. That's awesome. Replay Game Lab. Great job. Thanks for asking. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for the show. Absolutely. Great to have you with us here today. All right. Just trying to look and see what else is. Oh, UMAC. Here we go. This one's giving us some movement into the open here.
Okay, I'm going to switch over to the regular workspace.
It's trying to push up. Okay, so we have slightly higher pre-market highs as we wait for the last 30 seconds of pre-market to end, and 1447 is where UMAC printed before the bell here. So let's see if it can push through that. MACD looks like it wants to try and take this higher as well.
Really good stuff here, Replay Game Lab. Great food. I love this comment. Great food, great company. All my family in one place for the first time in months. Thanks for asking. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for the show. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for joining us. Glad to hear. Glad to hear.
Hope they're using that new computer right now, Line Atlas.
New computer days are always fun days, man. Always fun days. Okay, let's take a look here. UMAC right out of the open. Holding 14.
Yep. BLSK trying to decide what to do. PRZO slightly higher, trying to push up, but there's a bit of a wall at 110.
ONDS pushing up. You just absolutely love to see it. So let's go on a monster run, ONDS.
VSIG falling. This is kind of what I was thinking we might see happen here, but not sure how far we're going to fall. We do have 440 as a potential support level. Yeah, that's the sound a bomb makes, like the VSIG.
Yeah, when you said going down, I was like, oh, that's the sound.
Bloom energy with the pop here, but this thing is very, very thin. It's not really moving that much, and it looks very spready, so be careful with that if you're going to trade it. SOS, that's also opening lower.
Did see some hood calls getting bought here. Hood looking like it might try to take out 50. OKLO trading back up as well to that 2250 spot. Saw some of those calls, although not very big.
Okay.
PRZO trying to break 120. I'm nervous on that one. UMAC 15.
Oh yeah, UMAC's the one.
I think so too. I think UMAC is the one to watch for here today.
Just be careful, folks. I mentioned earlier that we have a lot less participation. We may get a lot of spreadiness. We may get a lot of things not working out completely like we anticipate them to. So make sure you take your gains and tighten those stops. And now we're getting a pull on UMAC right now. This is the kind of thing I had the concerns about. Yeah, 1358 is going to be the VWAP there. PRZO popping. And Crow mentioned it too. PRZO actually might halt. Actually, I think it is going to halt. It halted. So PRZO, our first halt of the day from the movers we were looking at.
And UMAC bouncing off that. That's 1 for 1 on that bounce scalp. That was perfect. PRZO halted, you were saying?
Yes.
127.
Yep. Took out those pre-market highs and halted.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Let's see if I can anticipate where PRZO might go next. How about 165 PRZO?
Okay.
Yeah, I like 165. I think if we out of the halt, I think it might get up there. We'll see if that's what's going to happen. But
Cabaletta Bio, ticker CABA. Okay. This also running here. 450 looks like, what does this company do here real quick? Clinical stage bio company increasing the discovery and development of engineered T-cell therapies.
Okay.
Okay.
So ASPI is pushing up now, trying to get to 532, it looks like. It's got a bit of a wall at 525 that's dealing with right now.
Oh, man, look at that bounce there. And UMAC should have stayed in. What a bounce. What a bounce.
That was a great move.
Yeah, that sure was. And actually, that was right off the VWAP in the prop. A little bit above the VWAP here in Trading View. But good start to the day there.
Looks like VSIG almost went down and touched that 65 EMA. It is trying to turn around and recapture VWAP.
Yep. It missed it by barely.
Mm-hmm.
Barely. And actually, I do have it recapturing VWAP on my end here. Devs lost its VWAP. PGHL not doing anything. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's trying to go over. Oh, gosh, here we go. Okay, so VSIG may end up pushing through this pre-market consolidation, going to the 566. It is moving, folks. It is moving.
This 528, 530 level. Watch this on VSIG. Actually, I might load this up here.
Just be careful with, but we're going to get that participation element that's not there.
No position yet. No position yet.
Devs going lower. There may be some bounce here. 65 EMA I have at 96 cents. But it's penny stock, so I probably won't be looking at that as much. BSLK, this one also coming down to the 65 EMA, which I have at 82 cents. See if it'll provide a bounce there.
VSIG, this might be testing like it's going lower. Careful with this. That was a good call, 13.
UMAC 1510 was the high that last candle put in. I currently have it slightly beneath VWAP. Not sure what we're going to get out of this one right now. That was a bit of a neutral candle in UMAC on that 5 minute. So it could continue to go higher. Or it could sell off.
Those upside wicks there on that 1 minute have me a little bit nervous. We actually might create another one here on the 5.
Line Atlas mentioning MSTR going higher. Parker Sleeper Swim is saying ARCAT 11. BB saying BT, and Buzz Lightyear mentioning Rocket Lab.
Okay, so we got a lot of stuff moving here. So MicroStrategy is so far holding its gap there, 105. That's good. What was the other one? ARCAT hitting 11?
Yeah, ARCAT hitting 11. BT, which is another Bitcoin play that's pushing up, and then we know what Rocket Lab is. ASP had a nice move out of the open. It is has currently printed a high of 534. Sorry if I'm going too fast.
Yeah, way too fast.
Sorry.
It's okay. I just can't keep up with you.
Okay. Looks like we're getting another push here in CABA, CABA. 460 is the intraday high. It's trying to get through this wall at 450. SOS might be trying to turn around here. Volume not looking great, but the price has recaptured the VWAP on my broker.
SOS doesn't have a lot of movement.
Yeah,
some of these other ones have really been kind of swinging around.
Robert mentioning 3 stocks here. BTDR ripping, SMR ripping, and Axon good. Axon has been pretty good. That's been on the deportation theme, so that one's been moving quite well. ASPI new high, 540 now.
ONDS pulled huge off the open, but bouncing. I'm not trading that, by the way. I'm kind of hanging on to that, just so I'm clear about that. I'm waiting for a big multiple dollar move.
Yeah, if ONDS can get through 110, which it looks like it might be able to, it's going to have problems, I think, at 120.
Yeah, 120 is clearly what stopped there. I know we popped over that in the pre-market, but again, I'm in this for a longer move. Call this the Carmen effect for me, right? I'm waiting for this to be huge move, not scalping this one here today, not in and out of ONDS. Yep, which one?
Crent Biscuit saying Silo hit my support. That would be the 65 EMA on the 5 minute. It did give a little bit of a bounce, but it's not reversing by any means. So let's see if this 65 EMA does help the price turn around. It's not moving very well. It's very spready. So I wouldn't hold out hope for too much on this. We need to see some volume expansion on this one, but maybe we do reverse here. We'll see. I just need to see some more volume come in and lift this up. So CABA popped up to 450 and then is losing VWAP now. So that's coming back in. ASPI, that hit 540. And that's trying to hold above the 200 EMA on the 5 minute.
Izzy, what is your entry on ONDS? Izzy, I've been buying this stock for years. Okay, so I can't tell you what my entry is. I've been scaling in over years. My cost, I'm down big on it. My cost basis on this has been lowered here to $3.06. So my average price on ONDS is 306. The stock is at 106. So like I said, I'm waiting a while for that. I got a long-term view on that. PRZO, this ended up going higher here.
Silo bouncing
Big
off
time higher.
Oh, wow. Silo bouncing off the 65 EMA, trying to recapture VWAP.
Oh, look at that. That bounced right to a T13. Damn, bro.
And Kaba suspended. That's halted to the downside.
That was that one.
Yeah, so
a bit wild there.
Yeah, so the silo one, that the volume coming in, that's what we needed to see in order to get come back up. Now it still has this pre-market consolidation to get through, but so far that bounce off the 65 EMA was looking pretty good. Looks like 110 is going to be the next big level for the price to get over. That would be my guess, based on some levels we see in the pre-market. ASPI pushing to new intraday highs. There was one that I wanted to see. Was PRZO the one I said 165? Is that the one? Yes, that is the one. So 165 and PRZO. Still looking like it's headed there. UMAC looks done. Let's see here. UMAC's just kind of going sideways right now. Until it starts losing, let's say 1250, then I would kind of consider it done. But this is like more sideways price action right now. So I'd say it's just kind of holding up here. You might be right that this is about all the movement we're going to get, but for the moment, it's still within that consolidation from pre-market. So I'm not sure that this is necessarily done yet. I need to see some more weakness in this one first.
VSIG popping.
Oh,
go back to VSIG here.
Here we go. Back over VWAP, but man.
Yep.
For shadows. Keeps putting those in.
Yeah, I've got VWAP. I don't have a position. It popped through. I was actually typing here to my friend. It popped right through the entry point that I wanted. So I'm going to try and be patient here. And Daniel, you called it. I'm punishing myself for looking away from the screen, boss.
Oh, great job, Anthony. Great stuff.
Boom. Boom. Black Friday. We're going to be in the black here today, folks.
All right. Let's look around and see what else is moving. And ONDS, that's just kind of going sideways at the moment, but not looking great. MACD is indicating that it might be start to roll over here. Upper shadows from pre-market going into the open, not looking great either. This might go under $1. This is ONDS.
Yeah, look at you. I know I'm not trading ONDS. I'm in that for the story and for the long term, so I'm not interested in any of these back and forth moves here real quick. UMAC though, dude, Look at the bounce.
Yep. Yeah, so this is I wouldn't. Yeah, I was looking at this not being done. We were still in that consolidation. Now we're getting a breakout of or not necessarily a breakout. I think a breakout of 15 would be better. But that seems to be the big spot right now is $15 to get over. So let's see if we get that. PRZO new highs. This is man, 165 looking more and more likely every time we get a new candle here.
So we are seeing, despite this not really having a whole lot today, we are seeing some movement from some of these small little guys.
Yep. Just, keep in mind, we could see all these trades evaporate real quickly today. And we do have a shorter day. At 1 p.m. is when Eastern is when the market closes.
Yep.
So I as much as great as this is, and as much as I would love for everybody to continue trading and the way we've been doing it for the past month, I just gotta exercise caution. This is one of those days where we may not get everything that to work out the way we want.
UMAC maybe coming back into a VWAP here. I would definitely be watching that for a trade. Nope, going right back to the highs, not pulling.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at PRZO.
Did it keep ripping? Archer? Look at, oh my God, look at the bounce on Archer.
Oh, that was a nice one.
And Joby, I bet, does that have a similar type of move? Wow, that's actually great for trading there. I'm sorry, I missed that one. Look at Joby. All of these eVTOLs ripping higher. Hey.
PRZO has a wall at 160. If it gets through that, we're hitting 165. We're right there.
This thing is just straight vertical, no chill in PRZO.
That was, man. I mean, because this was the one that was halted at the open, right? That was the one. And as soon as we came out of that halt, because I was when I was.
Yep.
This is the thing that I like doing when we get these halters is trying to figure out where that the price will move to out of these halts, because it gets really volatile and you end up hitting those price targets. So 165 is what I was looking at. We had 159 before we started this pullback we're getting right now. So we'll see if we continue to get that movement upwards.
PRZO, nice job here, Crow. Bringing the register there. Looking at Retti now. Yeah, Santa's definitely coming.
Well
Someone
done.
bought 140K worth of 0 DTE calls on NVIDIA. So they're actively trading NVIDIA here today. What's that doing, actually?
It's shopping around, it looks like.
Tesla calls getting bought. Tesla pushing the high here. Who was trading this one? Was that you, Lion? Tesla 340 coming here on Tesla. This was actually a sweet move.
It looks like CABA is trying to turn around here and recapture VWAP. ASPI might have found a top for the time being. May come back into VWAP, not sure. PRZO now testing VWAP, so we did get a pull ever since we went up to 159, where there's still a huge amount of sell orders at 160, so that's going to be a big wall for PRZO to get over. But if it does chew through all that, 165 is getting touched. VSIG might get going here.
I was going to say VSIG kind of, this looks like it's gearing to go. Let me bring it on screen.
See, you get a little bit more volume than this. Give us some expansion. Take us up to 566. Hey, Walter, you're right. It is a holiday. Go enjoy yourself.
We're not going to tell you not to enjoy yourself, Walter, and we're going to support this too. Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a machine gun. Gotta love Die Hard. Really good stuff here, though. Thanks, everyone, by the way. Smash up the like for everyone here joining us on a Black Friday for some trading. We're actually already in the black. VSIG might be going, by the way.
Yep.
Watch VSIG right here.
I'm seeing that.
Took some for a trade here, 515. Want to see a punch right above this. 530. Let's go. There we go. Let's punch
man, oh man.
Okay.
Just keep on with that.
Might actually go higher here.
Yes, I know it's got to take out that 566, but we need to see some big volume expansion here.
I took my gains off this pop here. There we go. Okay. Now if it goes higher here, I'll be sad, but 2 for 2 in the black. Black Friday. I'm gonna do this for 13.
UMAC also trying to recapture VWAP. Still needs to take out that $15 level. Intraday high is 1510. UMAC.
PRZO came back in a little bit. Here is your UMAC chart.
So Silo did get that 65 EMA bounce.
Dude, Archer popping highs. Sorry for interrupting. Archer popping highs. Volume still expanding here on Archer too. It's not stopping. No, it isn't. At least not yet.
They're squeezing them shorts.
You folks are destroying today in the good way, by the way.
Yeah, on a day where there is typically not a lot of market participation. This is great. ASPI hit a new high, 550.
Ooh, ASPI.
So stick that in your short report and smoke it.
Got that, Walter?
Kava
560, by the way, 560 for ASPI. That was actually one of the lows from the day that it took the leg lower after that report.
Same craziness. I don't understand Reddit. Oh gosh, let's look at that and see what it's doing today, because that thing is ridiculous, isn't it?
What happened?
Reddit, the stock.
Oh god, what is it doing today? I didn't even look at it. $142.
Yeah.
Dude.
It really does look like it's in the beginnings of trying to roll over, but we don't have confirmation of that's what's happening yet. It needs to start losing some of these moving averages, and they're very extended away from the 50.
Here, I've got that on a different workspace here. Let me do that. RDDT.
Yeah, 31% away from its 50-day moving average. I think it needs to kind of come back in a little bit.
Man.
I'm glad you got a 2-for-1 there, Nick.
What happened?
Just read his last comment.
Toby just banked some money, ring, ring. You just made me laugh. My ribs hurt, but it was worth it. Oh, that's right, because you recently had surgery, right? More laughs,
sorry.
sounds like.
I'm sorry about your ribs, but also, laughter is the best medicine, so hopefully you'll heal up quicker now. You're convinced sports are rigged, Brandon? I mean, geez. That was we saw some things yesterday, didn't we?
I didn't see anything that denoted rigged yesterday, though. It's not the last thing that I saw that looked rigged was that Tyson Paul fight.
Oh gosh, that was.
I didn't see anything on the NFL slate yesterday that made me think rigged. I just saw a lot of just head shaking stuff.
Rigged might not even be the correct word. Scripted, I think, is better because there was nothing leveraged against either one winning. It was like, okay, this is the person who's win. You guys are all good with this acting job, right? That's all it was. And you could see in some of the replays how Tyson was set up to just flatten Jake Paul, and he had to hold back because it's in his contract not to knock him out. UMAC trying to push back up here. We're looking for 15. We're almost there. Hey, be nice to Ryan Izzy. That team actually deserves a lot better, especially after that game.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It is what it is.
That made me mad, and I'm a Packers fan. That made me mad. Well, it made you mad because you need Detroit to lose, and they were beaten.
That's
not the reason why. The reason it made me mad
is frustrating.
You had what is probably one of the worst game clock management ordeals in history.
High school coaches do a better job.
Oh my God, yes. I mean, even if Williams was taking as long as it was to set the snap. You have a coach on the sideline that should have been doing this before 10 seconds hit.
As soon as he took the snap, you call a timeout. That's the coach's job.
Yeah.
It's not the quarterback's job, especially a rookie quarterback trying to win the effing game. All right. PRZO, this did kind of go back towards the highs. 160 the spot to look at there, though. Dev not breaking down. We really need that to hold $1. So far, it's done that. RCAT continuing. VSIG staying above its VWAP, although tell you what, the thing on VSIG, the volume drying up here, not ideal. You want to see that volume really start to expand again. Although if it holds this level, maybe we do get that pop there. SOS, this actually back into the pre-market support level. Archer just zero chill at all. Joby zero chill. RCAT same deal, you saying?
Well, it just hit 1166 and it's still
same deal.
Higher. Drones, basically things that fly, hover. That's what's hot right now. That'd be drones, that'd be eVTOLs. UMAC.
I was going to say UMAC looks like this is trying to go for the highs here. God, that bounce off the VWAP was crispy. I know it pulled again, but it pulled to a higher low. UMAC actually looking like it's going to try and break out from 15.
Yep.
1510 is your high print intraday.
Yep. Yes to everything. All right. Looking around, see what else is going. And there's the new high in UMAC. PRZO, we're going to get 165 now.
SPY trying to go through 600 here.
Is there news?
Kaba resumed, and that's Kaba, CABA, going lower here.
Adobe Analytics expects customers will spend $10.8 billion online for Black Friday, up 9.9% year over year.
I would agree with that. The 160 here. Watch PRZO 160.
Yep. Oh man, that is a lot of weight. That is such a heavy area to get through for this stock. So many orders there at 160. Replay Game Lab mentioning QBTS. It must be serious because he said it twice and he doesn't want to get caught spamming. So I'll take a look at QBTS while you're looking at
I'm watching this PRZO break. Sorry, I'm going to try and trade this PRZO break in 157. Very tight stop.
Give me a second here. I'm going to pull up QBTS. It looks like that is trying to take out the high it just put in. 307 is the high. It's up there now and through. Just made a new high, 312. This thing's going.
Okay. Sorry, I'll switch to it in a sec here. Sorry.
No worries. They can just listen to my voice while you look at that. I'm going to get some levels here on QBTS while this thing continues to move. Holy cow. Looks like
stopped out of PRZO. Won't go yet. Damn it.
320 is next for QBTS. And then after that, the high from
oh my God,
earlier this week. No, it wasn't spam. You said it twice. That's acceptable. But it really put it, maybe get it on the screen. No worries. You're fine. I know you're not a spammer.
ONDS did break down through $1, just like you said, 13. That's why I'm not actively trading it. Just kind of sitting in it.
Well, it's possible it might get that support from the 65 EMA like some of these other ones were, and that's going to be at 95 cents.
Archer 960 coming here.
Good Lord. Archer's going to go to 10. I think you might see some big R at 10 because it was a SPAC.
SYM bounced off 23.
What short report?
Well, no, I mean, it's still.
I know, I'm joking. I'm making a joke. All right, ONDS, right almost at that 65 EMA.
ONDS, that actually is kind of disappointing. The seller is totally taking hold. I wonder how many long-term holders are still in this. This looks like flipper activity to me.
Take care, Anthony. Have a good weekend.
Take care of yourself. Thanks for joining us here today. And again, happy holidays.
All right. ASPI. This one looks like it might go and take out 550 here in a bit. So a little bit more volume expansion, and that's what's going to happen.
Oh, sorry, which ticker? I missed it.
This is ASPI.
ASPI.
Mm-hmm. All right, Izzy, let me take a look at BLDE.
Is it just running? I mean, if it's just run, I don't. Okay, I guess it is flagging up here. I don't really see a new trade up here though.
No, I think he's just referring like the past 3 weeks. Because if you look at the past, if you look at pretty much, from the middle of November until now, it's just had an absolutely wonderful move up. Big resistance at $5 though. Huge amount of sell orders.
JJ, it's a drone stock that I followed for a while. They also had like a rail communications segment to their business. I've just been following it for a while. I like the story, like the company. Took a huge hit when the conflict in the Middle East broke out, which really kind of slammed it. So I actually just doubled up my position, lowered my cost basis. But I got several year plan on that. I think I can get double digits out of it.
Daniel mentioned PRZO. I was just looking at that too. It looks like it's trying to take out 160. Okay, there
it goes, and I got shaken from that. Son of a bitch. That sucks.
There's 165. So I can breathe a sigh of relief that it's the target I was looking for, 165. Great stuff.
I would have sold into that pop if I was still in it too there. And here it goes. Actually, looks like we might go higher now. PRZO.
It's chewing through 170.
Yep, and there's some size there.
It's. I mean, every 5 cents, it has a huge wall it's going to have to deal with. So it might be harder and harder for PRZO unless we.
They also brought in a ton of size there. They were flashing some and then brought in 3x as much.
You right. All right, so Silo now coming back down to the 65 EMA. Not sure if it's going to be able to get a bounce from there again, but clearly there's better things to be trading right now.
PRZO, let's watch if it holds that breakout level. That could make another run back towards that high there. There's a huge size there.
VCIG, every time it keeps looking like it's trying to recapture VWAP, it gets smacked back down. Not liking these upper shadows on any of these candles for VCIG.
UMAC came back into the VWAP there. Didn't have the punch to move, though. VCIG, you were saying, huh?
Yeah, I just don't like the way those top wicks look. Pretty good indicator that we might go lower. UMAC, BLSK. Oh, yeah, here's okay. So that's we already know about that one.
VSIG right here at the VWAP. PGHL. Oh no. Okay, that's.
Oh
just
my God, are you kidding me, Robert? Is Kodak really going?
Do I need to bring it up here?
Yeah. Yeah, do it.
Yeah, it is moving.
I love this so much.
This might be your favorite stock, honestly.
This,
like I
don't
say
even
that
know.
tongue in cheek, but kind of not tongue in cheek at the same time.
It's only I only like it because of why it's moving. It's so funny to me. And if this continues for the next 4 years, it's gonna just be it's got to be the biggest meme stock at this point. To just move for no other reason than when Trump comes on TV or whenever he says something, that's just hilarious to me. And this all started back in 2020. It's just so funny.
PRZO.
Rockford Files fan. I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with that. DCIG is still trying to get back over VWAP.
PRZO is trying 170. It's made several attempts at it. I'm going to go to it real quick.
What's the next area to look out for a pullback on UMAC? Let's see here. Well, it looks like it really is starting to pull back here, but it's got to fall out of this consolidation.
UMAC, huh?
It's got to fall out of this consolidation. And for me, that's going to start at about 1263. It could get support from the 65 EMA, which I have on the 5-minute chart at 1214. So, those would be that would be kind of the area where I would look for support between 1260 and 1214. Maybe it goes lower, but even if it does, there's it looks like there's also support at about 1025. Hopefully, it doesn't go that low. I don't want to give you any false hope, Brian, but ONDS is looking like it's getting some reversal support from the 65 EMA.
Oh, it's okay. I don't need it to go here today. I'm actually excited with the newsprint. Like I said, I think there's going to be more, and I also expect a guidance raise that could really, really kick this thing off. I made no changes to my position at all here today.
1 p.m. Felipe.
Yeah, Well, I was just going to say 1 p.m. Eastern time. 1 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I don't remember those commercials, Crimp Biscuit, but I absolutely know 100% who James Garner is, and it's kind of ringing a bell. But I was very, very young at that point, so that's why I don't know. All right, looks like PRZO still trying to get over that 170. It did have a slightly higher print at 171, but it seems like the sellers came right back in. They're just really concentrated between 170 and 175 right now. It's going to take a huge amount of sell orders or buyers. I'm sorry, a huge amount of buyers to come in and push through all this float that's getting trying to get sold here between 170 and 185. It's going.
Oh my God, Lunar dude.
All right, so a little bit more out of PRZO. 170,
Crazy.
174, I think. 174, 175 is the current high.
I revenge traded it to get some of it back from the stop out. I look.
Was it served cold?
I mean, the revenge. No, it was. I didn't get it all back. I didn't get it all back. How could I act like a badass? I didn't get it all back. I did chip into it though. It was just a nice little break there.
Let me pull up Archer here. So 960, the current high in Archer. Like I said earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if this hits 10.
Sorry, just to Retti, which you guys have been trading the stock on breaks here. I actually am seeing some options go through too here. Not huge, but aggressive. Retti options, a 2.5 call. That's the December contract.
So we could, there might be a breakout coming around 175. If you look at the
on which one?
This is on RGTI. So
Rigetti, okay.
we made a couple of pre-market highs, 279 and then 277. You can draw a trend line there, and it looks like 275 based on that trend line might be the spot where we get a breakout. Not that it's already moving pretty nicely, but
you might get you absolutely might get that.
It could get up to 275, get some resistance, pull back a little bit, and then shoot right through that in a matter of minutes later. So just kind of looking to see if that's what we're going to get here at RGTI, because it is looking like it's having a bit of a struggle on this move up to 275. What are the upper wicks saying on PRZO? Let me see here real quick. Well, the first couple were saying that 160 was the big level, and we had already identified that it was, and that was a big breakout area. Now it's really just behaving with the amount of sell orders that are in the wave every 5 cents. As far as the wicks go, it just for now it's an indication that there's sellers are stepping in every time it tries to go higher. That's going to weigh heavily on the buyers at some point. I just don't know exactly when. We could see another push over 175 here, but I really don't have a whole lot of confidence in PRZO right now because the volume is seemingly starting to dry up. The upper shadows might be also telling you that too, but for now they're saying that every time that this approaches a breakout level, the sellers are really trying to step in and push it down. That's what I'm getting from this right now, but it needs to hold VWAP if we're going to get more upside in PRZO.
Rigetti, in the meantime, going for the pre-market high there right now. 280 does have some size here.
Yeah, it's through that trend line. We want $3 in Rigetti. Take a look at a larger time frame here.
I want to see there. It just deleted that 280 spot, or took a ton of it. Took a ton of it out there. They're actually refilling it a little bit. It took some more of it and some more of it. I think 280 falls here on Rigetti. No position for me on Rigetti. Don't need to get stopped off these upper range breaks, but we're starting to see them here. God, I would love for this to return on a regular basis. I would love for that to come back here.
Yeah, I think there might be a bit of resistance at around 285, 286. Looking at the price ladder here, it seems like there are a lot of orders in the way at that particular level. So yeah, I think between that 285, 290, that's going to be the big area to get through. And then this thing could push up to those wild highs it had into the 3 handle earlier this year and back in 2023.
Honestly, what I would like before all of that is I'd love for Rigetti to pull here. Pull down, retrace part of the stick, maybe 270, and then set up for that high move higher. Oh my God. That actually might give us the juice to bump through some of those levels you just outlined. I actually see some support here, one at 270. God, that would be the level.
I think Kaba just broke back up through VWAP. Looking to see if it's going to hold and maybe if it's going to start to run some more, but looking like there might be some decent movement here in Kaba. I think it needs more time though. I want to see a hold above that VWAP too. All right, so QVTF.
No pulls, Ryan. Stop being selfish. Look, man, I'm trying to be good, right? I'm trying to be responsible. This actually did pull here. 272 didn't quite get the 270 spot. Did have an order out at 271, did not get filled. We'll see.
Looking around, what went on with PGHL? Let me see. Isn't that really?
Yeah, I mean, that was a box job. BS is what that was.
Yeah, at what point were we referring what went wrong with it? Because if it was on Tuesday referring to, that's when all the crazy price action took place, ran up to over $200.
That was in the after hour though. PRZO halt down, not in it. Yeah. That might be done. We'll see if it's got some more strength.
Yeah, so it's at VWAP. That's where it has to hold. But like I was saying, if it doesn't, then yes, I agree. Probably end up getting more support down at 125 if it falls through VWAP. 280 in Rigetti before we got a pull here. Now it's back beneath that trend line. Might be about the time where we start to see more of that weakness come in. Still think as long as Kaba can hold above VWAP, there might be another push up to take out the intraday high one that we got in the morning. I'm sorry, the open. It's still the morning. Cooler. This other penny stock that's in my space plays list. This is also having a pretty good morning, up 10 cents, which is big for this stock. VCIG forming HNS on 1 minute. Take a look. There's a question. Let me see if I can give an answer.
Rigetti's back up to that 280. Didn't quite do it yet.
I think you're referring to, so this head and shoulders you're looking at, is this starting in the pre-market and then we have the right shoulder that is in the regular session and now we're getting the resolution? Is that what you're asking about, Diamond? Because I see it too, if that's what you're talking about. It's kind of like a skewed head and shoulders a little bit, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, I could see that being a head and shoulders. So maybe this one is going to be seeing some more downside here. We've already really fallen out of a lot of these support levels. So wouldn't surprise me if VCIG is done for today.
Rigetti, by the way, they brought in a huge offer here at 278. So it looks like this area right up here up top is going to be tough. You definitely want to wait on this for a pull, and we might not get it. Rigetti. I don't feel confident buying this break even a little bit.
QBTS 320 now. That's the new intraday high. Well done, all you folks doing that one. All right, so Kaba held above VWAP. Waiting to see if this one will actually go higher into the 4 handle. No problem, Diamond. ONDS, nice.
God. So Matt Eberflus showed up to meet the media and said that the last play of the game, quote, wasn't fast enough, end quote. I mean, what a pathetic organization. What a pathetic organization. Not fire that absolute effing clown. Good Lord.
I bet if we go back and
it's never going to get better. It's never going to get better. It's just that is.
We go back and look at the final moments of the game. You could pinpoint when the camera's on the coach of when the moment you realize he lost his job.
He didn't. He's out there addressing the media this morning. He didn't lose his job. That sucks. That absolutely sucks, dude. What a waste. What an absolute waste. Pathetic organization. Pathetic human beings. Oh, God, is that frustrating.
RGTI 283. Now we're starting to see some upper shadows here in RGTI that are a little concerning.
So I'm watching this here, and actually look at the seller that they brought in got immediately flipped and is now a huge bid. Rigetti might push from here. Watch this 278 if they back test that area. Otherwise, this is probably setting a new high.
Oh, QBTS coming back in. Lots of things looking weak. Looks like VCIG went down to the 65 EMA, traded beneath it. Now it's trying to recover. Not sure.
They took that huge support on Rigetti. Watch out now here. And you're getting wicks to the upside here on Rigetti. Yeah, I don't know if it's got the strength here. I want to wait on a pullback at this point now. Pullback. Give me another entry down here. Give me another shot at it.
These are the upper shadows I don't like seeing. This would be concerning to me for Rigetti. We get another candle that looks like this one and the last one. I think we're going to go lower. Print Biscuit asking, does after hours trading go until 8 today? For a short, the short day, I don't believe so.
No, I believe that's closed earlier.
Yeah.
Here's the Rigetti pull. Let's see if we get that set up. as promised, let me give you some more. The Black Friday sale currently running for Benzinga Edge and Benzinga Pro. I'm going to give you those Black Friday checkout pages right now. If any of you are interested in our biggest sale of the year, definitely take advantage. Links in the chat.
UMAC trying to turn around.
Walter, Edge is like a lower tier subscription. It basically gives you the insider report, which gives you weekly trading ideas plus a stock of the day trading idea. Plus, it gives you access to news, analyst ratings, all of the stuff that you can actually customize for your own watch list. Oh, one more thing about Edge. I should have mentioned this earlier. Tim Melvin is going to increase his content starting in early 2025 for Edge. Awesome. I gotta say, I suspect that the price is going to go up when that happens. So you probably do want to grandfather yourself in now.
Haven't seen. Someone said Bitcoin FPD Bitcoin pass 100K. I don't see the actual spot price passing it. It might have been a future. They made a futures price that hit it, but I don't see any prints above 100 yet.
I see the prints on the Bitcoin futures, the /BTC. I see those prints above 100,000.
Yeah, that's
so. And actually, it's being tested right now, so it's possible that spot price actually gets a test coming right here. Bitcoin futures price as we speak right now, 100,075.
All right. Looking around and seeing what's still doing stuff. ASPI has been consolidating above VWAP. Need to see some. Man, this looks like it's going to roll over.
Did you say AAOI?
ASPI.
Also, ASPI. Okay.
And also we are getting mentioned for from Crimp Biscuit, HOVR, and the Crow AIEV. Gosh, how about that? That ticker, it has both AI and EV in it.
Oh, gosh, look out. AIEV, that's penny stock popping to the highs here.
Yep, probably because of the ticker. Let me see if there's any news on
PRZO is open and actually bounced off the VWAP there, PRZO. Clean slate calling for AIEV to get halted again. I think you mean to the upside here, too.
Yeah, so they had earnings earlier this month. They had... Looks like they had some filing here. Have to read into this what this is, but don't think it's moving off of that. Let's see if I can find some levels for AIEV. Actually, we're approaching one of them right now.
75 cents is one of them.
Yep, you're right. 75 cents. So there's one. Let's see if we can find another. There's potentially 90 cents as well. And I think that's about as good as it's going to get, unless you want to talk some crazy levels that are higher than $1.
This is actually halted here, isn't it?
It is halted. Yes, it is.
Uh-oh.
It is halted.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Is it, I mean, what's it halted? Oh, okay, just had this huge move. All right.
Also, by the way, VIX getting melted here, 1350 I'm seeing on the VIX. Actually, BRB 1 sec here, 13.
Okay.
While we're halted. BRB.
No problem. Retti came in pretty hard, tested VWAP, bouncing a little bit. ODS, SILO, what are we looking? Oh, it's not halted? AIEV? No, it is. It says halted. Bitcoin over 100K. So do we finally get that print? Or is it still the futures? I still don't see the actual spot print. It's just still the futures. So let's see here. Oh, just a platform. Okay, no problem. The entry for AIEV for you is 59 cents. Very nice. And PRZO trying to recapture VWAP. Still not sure if it's going to be able to do that. MACD is indicating that it could still roll over. What else do we got here? Retti really trying to recover after coming down near VWAP. Cooler also recovering. Mara, M-A-R-A. Looks like that one is having trouble at 29.50. There's a big wall of sell orders there. These get chewed through. And I do mean big, like to the tune of almost 47,000.
Where? Which stock? What are we doing?
This is Mara. We were just taking a look at that because it had moved up to 29.66 and found some resistance. And there's apparently a wall of sell orders that it has to chew through at 29.50. And it's hitting it, but not moving it quite yet. Needs more volume expansion. Lunar Go. Yeah, it's exactly line out. It hasn't hit 100K yet, but I'm sure it is. I've just looked at it. It was trying to hit 99K. No, still trying to get up there. I think all the 100K talk is from the futures.
It definitely is. I actually thought we might get a 100K test on Thanksgiving, but looks like we're getting it today instead.
Any thoughts on IonQ? Is this another quantum? This is another quantum play, right? IonQ. Let's see here. Yes, it is. Let's see what we got here. I don't think there's any news. It's probably just a short squeeze. 19.5% of the float shorted, only 1 day to cover. Let's look at some levels here. I mean, it looks like it's trying to reverse right now. I don't know if it's going to have the volume to push back up to 38.28 and go higher. To see where we're going here with this. Is this what are the highs in this one?
Good morning, Jay Wild. Happy Black Friday. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving.
Ionic is, I don't know why I'm calling it that, but IonQ.
Because there's a car called that?
All right.
That's why you're doing it?
You must be right. I think you are. So we are actually testing the 2021 highs. That was 35.90. So we are trying to push and hold above that. Now we did do that earlier up to 37.28 and came back in. But it seems to me like we are trying to get over and hold those 2021 highs. That would be my thought. It'll cut through it. All right. By now, it's saying it's going to cut through 100K. Hover pushing, HOVR.
That one has been popping on and off the scanner here.
Yeah, and it's starting to consolidate, and the price is beginning to hover in this area.
Good morning, Anne-Marie. Cannot wait till we have some option trades coming on here. Remember what she's talking about with Mara. I know you guys were just talking about Mara. She's talking about her the box technical analysis that she uses. Oh no, what happened here? Lost all my stuff. Really? Bless it. Let me try refreshing real quick.
Oh, okay. ASPI, that is still consolidating.
Nope, lost it.
I don't know what's going to happen with this. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to do a quick backup save here.
There we go. No, it disappeared, but I was able to load it here. Mara is what we were trying to look at here.
Yeah. AIEV unhalted and ripping up to 80 cents.
Okay.
Now
awesome.
Higher.
Awesome. Nice little scalp there.
And did it go to that spot that I was talking about? Yeah, I think it went through it. We're looking for 92, I think, in this one, an AIEV.
Might we halt again up here? Because I know this is a penny stock.
It's still moving, so not quite yet.
Let's bring it on screen here. AIEV.
PRZO halt down.
PGHL appearing on the scanner. Oh, look out. Okay, that's not really doing anything. Sorry. False alarm there, folks.
Yeah, so losing that VWAP and PRZO, that was a good mention. Who was asking me about the wicks? That was also telling you the story about this one as well. Losing VWAP going lower, might find support around, gosh, like the 115 to 120 area would be the earliest support in PRZO. But I think there's better things to trade than this. Like Cooler, which is making a new intraday high. Looking for 85 cents. There's a wall there. Still looks like RGTI wants to try and recover. A lot of these still need some volume expansion. What are we looking at? Lunar new intraday high. Let's take a look.
Hey, Daniel, trading what's moving around here today. You guys caught a couple of them here. AIEV pulling back, by the way.
That news about the retail sales is probably really helping the market move along, and it might be an indication that we're going to have a strong Santa Claus rally.
You know what's interesting about that? Walmart actually at the intraday low. Oh, so is Abercrombie. How about Lulu? We talked about that one. Lulu actually looking better. Watch for a 3:30 break. I might ask Anne-Marie about Lulu for a potential trade here. We have earnings coming up in 5 days, so maybe we can get one of those. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Anne-Marie. We'll see.
Next, Lunar been doing great all morning. Broke through the 1620 level we had marked off here.
Yeah, let me bring that up here real quick.
Lunar looks like if we continue with this, it could go. I mean, the next level I have up here is 1755. So that's a possibility. AIEV hit 87 cents, came back in, still above VWAP. IonQ, that came back in, found some support from the 9 EMA on the 5-minute, trying to turn around here. I don't, the volume I think still needs to be better in this one. Need to see more expansion in this, and that'll take us back up to 37.28 and higher.
AIEV maybe returning back to the highs. RCAT holding 11. RCAT has been so good.
Yep.
Blade holding higher after pulling back. AISP, not to be confused with ASIP or ASPI, excuse me.
Yep, that was me the other day.
Yep. Tesla still ripping to the highs. That took another leg higher here.
Doge is doing great, says Lion Atlas. Where's that at? Did it ever reach $1? Or is that still just a dream?
Dogecoin?
Yeah. Cooler looking for 90 cents. This thing is just having a wonderful day. And it's got a very, very heavy float too. So it's surprising to me. Amazon and Google down now. How far down is Google gone? Because I am looking to add on weakness for Google. And yes, I'm well aware of all the antitrust stuff. I have 155 and 150 as levels of interest for me to add. Cooler. Wow, this thing. Wasn't expecting we'd get this kind of movement out of Cooler today.
I didn't even bring Cooler up yet today. Wow. AIEV going for new highs here. Is this at a halt risk if it pops that? No, I don't think so.
Thanks, Lion. Is RCAT done?
Dude, RCAT hasn't been done any of these days. We've been talking about RCAT since it was $1. I mean, done on day trades for today. Maybe if it loses this area, but this thing, I mean, dude, look at this. RCAT hasn't been done. It's been very good.
I don't know about for the day, but you know, it's certainly not looking great for the time being. I mean, going into the lunch hour, it might not be the one you'd want to pick up, but coming out of there, that might be a better idea. I wouldn't be buying any right here for a trade. Let's go back to some of these other ones.
DPro, this is a decent call here from the chat. This actually moving a little bit of a volume pop there on DPro. DPRO.
getting a request about SoundHound. Oh,
Sure.
wow. That's been straight up as well.
NVIDIA AI name here, ripping to the highs.
Yes, sir. Looking for 875. That's the next level I have on this one. If it goes through that, 1015 would be the next level. And it has, you know, not in the ticker, but AI in the name. All right. Lunar coming back down to 16, looking for support.
Hover, another one of those airship plays here. This one a penny stock.
Looks like Rigetti is trying to get back above 275. We identified that with the trend line that we drew as a potential resistance level, and so far it has been one. Every time it's traded over that resistance level, it's come back in, and that candle has closed beneath the resistance level. So it's going to be
and this was that pull we were waiting for. You're exactly right. That pull we were waiting for. I got caught up trading AIEV instead.
No worries. AIEV is starting to put in some upper shadows that I do not particularly like to see.
I'd be done with that one. I'd be done with that one.
Okay.
Yeah, we took a look at UMAC all morning. Zhu. Let me know how I'm supposed to pronounce that. We actually had a trade off this one. The first VWAP pull was excellent. I traded that one, only got a little bit though on the 14 break. This actually ended up going much higher. This worth putting on the back burner. As Bigabee said, we do close early, so you're not going to have necessarily those afternoon pops, but we're holding right beneath the VWAP here. Any type of volume pop that brings us above that level, and look, it's literally going as I was talking. You got to be kidding me with that, dude. Well, anyway, watch for a move through VWAP here on the expanding volume. We don't have that expanding volume yet. I am through the VWAP on TradingView. In my broker, however, I'm not. 378 has size and has the spot. Judge, take care of yourself. Happy Thanksgiving.
Take care, Judge. Fairchild, yeah, I remember you mentioning that, and I did see that he said that too. No plan is one thing. A need, I mean, if you want your stock to move better, I would definitely reverse split it. But I mean, it's also, you know, there's also a cost that goes along with that. So maybe he's just, you know, not wanting to add another cost to a company that's already pretty tight on cash anyway. But I think their stock would trade so much better if they did a reverse split. That's just me though. Mara rolling over, by the way.
UMAC went right to that VWAP line in the broker and stopped there.
UMAC back to 14.
Rigetti getting a mention here. Rigetti, watch for the top to get taken off there. AIEV new high, so that wasn't, no, it's not a new high. No clean slate. New high is 87. It did not get that. It did bounce off the VWAP though, so maybe it isn't done.
Oh, they just brought a large bid in Rigetti to help lift it. 283.
Now, okay, so really quickly though, the last time that they did that, they actually ate it on the way back down when Rigetti pulled. They did the same thing. 283 is the high, bids here at 281.
All right. Yeah, Lunar's still trying to recapture that 1620, and it looks like it's about to. Volume's really starting to fade in these names, and Lunar's one of them. SoundHound, that's on the doorstep of that price target of 875. We're at 873 right here, so pretty close. We get through that and start trading above it. Now my next level was 1015.
Actually, I'm kind of interested in this Rigetti. I wonder if they do this.
Well, go get that done, Lion Atlas.
Hey, look, I mean, today's the day. Today's the day. Make some money and then go shopping with it. Not a bad idea. Rigetti's trying to go higher here now. It did take that. They're trying to fill up that 282 spot. Rigetti pop. 288's got the next block of size there.
This is an interesting mention. Market movers asking, hey, you guys, can you look at EWZ? This is a Brazil ETF, and that's
the one that you've liked, huh?
No, I was not aware of this one. EWW, I believe, was one of the ones that I was looking at. Yeah, that's the Mexico ETF. We also have FLMX and MEXX is the other two Mexico ETFs I was looking at. Brazil, this is interesting. I haven't seen this one before.
This one also had a spot here, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for bringing this up. As I don't know what you're looking for from us. Maybe just kind of like our thoughts. And for me, let me look at the daily chart real quick. So this is really actually had a big gap down recently. I don't know on what. Maybe I don't know. That'd be too much of a speculation. But it seems like there's something that really shook out Brazil. I'd have to look and see what's going on with that region, or maybe there's some kind of trade issue between them and China that's causing this to be down so much. But this is a gap down, and now we're recovering off of $25. Could fill the gap up to 26.50, but I don't know enough about what's going on with this ETF, what it has in it, or anything like that to really give you a good assessment of what I think about it. I can just only tell you the technicals at this point.
UMAC did make it through the VWAP there. PRZO might be trying to go.
RSI on EWZ is pretty low, even after this recovery it's been going through this morning. Still at still under 27 RSI. Thank you for bringing this up. This is interesting. I'll have to look into this some more, but I really can't give you any more, than what I can see from the chart, because I don't know anything about this ETF, unfortunately. Yes, exactly, Pro, and that's kind of what I was, mulling over when I was talking earlier. There's a lot to unpack with Brazil. You are absolutely right.
There's a lot to unpack with a lot of South America. That's actually a discussion we've had a lot on Happy Hour too.
Yep.
Shout out to our group for being ahead of it again.
Yeah. So let me look into a little bit more of that. Maybe I'll be able to have something for you on Monday. But I appreciate you bringing that up to me.
Boom. That's how we do. Let's check out what the traders are looking at.
And then Beach Bum Trading coming out with the looks like, what are these, the leveraged ones? Short Brazil to go long Brazil. So
Beach Bum does recaps on the weekend. You guys should check out, by the way, if you're ever looking for that on his YouTube channel. Appreciate all of your support, Beach Bum.
Looks like CABA, CABA.
Yeah.
That's trying to recapture its VWAP.
Indeed it is.
Volume doesn't look great. Don't get fooled by this one. If this does end up going over VWAP and you're trading it for a VWAP recapture, maybe that's the breakout you want to sell into. So Soundhound over 875, now trying to hold that level. See if that's what we get. Kodak rolling over. Retti put in a new intraday high of 287, still holding above 280, looking for more. And some of these other ones. It looks like Lunar's trying to come back. It's approaching the intraday high of 1641. Current price is about 1630. If Lunar can take out the intraday high and continue moving up, I think you could see 1755. But the volume over this morning is getting lower and lower as we approach the lunch hour.
AIVE really came back in.
Yep, last VWAP and all that stuff.
PRZO still trying to recapture VWAP there. UMAC still hanging on to it. Retti still looking for that high there. I'm out of all these plays right now. I'm flat on the day trades.
QBTS this has been consolidating ever since it got up here, but it is trying to push over 315 and go take out the intraday high of 320. So watch for expanding volume because it's been consolidating up here most of the morning.
Be interesting to see if it breaks out of this consolidation area, honestly.
Yep. The last thing it needs is that volume.
Yeah.
UMAC also trying to recapture VWAP. Looks like Silo is trying to come back. It's currently in the process of trying to recapture VWAP. Rigetti is just trying to deal with this 288 to 290 area where there's a bunch of sellers.
SPY at the highs of the day here, 601.88 as SPY continues to trade higher.
All right, Kava with a break over VWAP. That looked good. I also saw something else. ASPI is pushing out of the consolidation, trying to take out 550. Lots of room in the way, though. And then there's one more. I just
ASPI. Okay, I clicked on Airship. I clicked on AISP, but here you go on ASPI.
And then great job. I think it may have been you, me, and a couple others that were saying that the AIEV might be done up here after hitting that high. It certainly is. It's just rolling over big time now.
Yeah. UMAC above 14. Watch for that to go.
Man, Lunar new high 1654. Still not done yet with this one. Looking for 1755 now. EWZ. Got to look into that one. That was an interesting mention. Mara found support from VWAP, turning around. Looks like Bitcoin still wasn't able to get back into that 99,000 handle on Bitcoin, earlier. Sold off, trying to recover. Still above 98.
Hustle and bustle, love it. The turkey sandwich, love it.
I like it. Joby and Archer are both putting in a very similar pattern, and it looks like they want to take out their intraday highs. So 2 trades might be happening here on these EV toll names.
UMAC out on that scalp. Good stuff there on UMAC through 14. That might keep going, but I'm happy with the scalp there.
PDYN, says Kathy Austin.
Okay, let's check PDYN real fast. Checking on that one earlier. All right, that actually did have a nice little move off that VWAP reclaim. See if it can take out, 613?
Yes. 613. That's what I got to. If only we just get a little bit more volume and Joby and Archer, we can get these patterns to resolve to the upside. Looks like Joby needs to take out 933 and Archer 984. Although with Archer, we're approaching that $10 level, which is where the I call it the SPAC level. That might be where we see the most resistance.
Were there redemptions still left in that deal? I wonder.
I don't know. I haven't looked at that, but
yeah,
because of the consolidation it had, prior to the acquisition closing, it's created a pretty robust level for resistance. So, oh, look at this. IFBD has been having a morning. Not really, massive moves. I think it's only up like about 40 cents, but for a stock that opened at under 240. And now approaching 280. That's not bad.
UMAC, real quick, X-Sniper. UMAC, my entry on that 14 scalp was 1389, and I was out at 1410.
Thoughts
21 cents on that scalp through that key level.
Thoughts on OPTT, my friend, Ocean Power Tech. I don't know what it did this morning that had it just pop and drop up to like 55 cents and then come back in. Let's see here.
This is a long time day trader stock. Long time. I don't think that this is look. And if you look at the long-term chart, I don't think this is like a real company. Just saying.
It's been having a real good week on Turkey Crack Week. So, if this momentum continues, which I don't have any expectations of it doing so or otherwise, but if it does, it looks like you're going to have an area around 57 cents, which could be a bit of a problem for it going higher. It would also be a breakout level, but based on the way we've seen this volume lately kind of thinning out, compared to the earlier this week, I would think that maybe this comes back in pretty soon. Very overcooked on the daily RSI as well, so it does need to come back in. But there's a couple of things for you right there. 57 cents, definitely a level I'd be looking at, and then wait for that this price to come back in because the RSI is overcooked.
Lion mentioning the uranium trade SMR here. CCJ is actually above 60. I wonder what LEU is at. LEU about $90 there, $89. So this trade on here.
Cooler hitting a new high. Really surprised at this. Mara about to make new intraday highs. What a reversal off VWAP. And ASPI. Some of these are on the verge of taking out their intraday highs.
Mara on a potential chance to break out here.
Yep, absolutely.
Rigetti boom. You guys finally got that move in Rigetti. There it is. That's what, 6 cents it went? 10 cents it went past that level. Still good stuff. Good job to stay with that trade too. And book that for a gain. Really good stuff there.
Agrify's flushed. Uh-oh. Anne Marie is saying she has a 31.45 target in Mara. QBTS still consolidating, not breaking out of that consolidation yet.
Yeah, don't forget, we will be going to Anne Marie here at 11 Eastern. Actually, 13. It might be like 11:02 because I've got a Black Friday drop I've been waiting for. So I might need you for another minute or two here, 13, real quick.
Oh, holy hell. I guess that's fine.
Holy hell.
Mara, new intraday highs, 29.20. I'm sorry. Yeah, 29.79 currently. We're still moving up with Soundhound. What do you know? We're on the verge of 9 here. Looks like there's a big old amount of sell orders between at 9 and 8.99. Get through that. Seems like 10.15 could be even more likely. And
Palantir went for 67 today. I can't believe nobody asked to see this here. I feel like we do this every day. Yeah, Emery, we Black Friday drop. Look, Chicago-based company. They do all their drops at 10 a.m. Central. Their Black Friday drop is the biggest one. They didn't ask me about my show schedule, so I have to be ready. Stuff sells out in less than 10 seconds. I just got to be on top of it. I'm glad you guys are at least able to laugh at me. That's the ideal way to do it.
Give me 2 minutes, 13. I got to make a purchase.
I just got to look, I might not even get anything. That's the reality. I might leave empty handed here, but I got to be ready. Got to be ready. I got the site loaded up and I'm just going to spam F5. I mean, look, it's not my first day. Yeah,
I know. I get you. That spamming F5. That's definitely me when I was trying to pick up tickets through Eventbrite on some of these BlizzCon, for example.
Good old Eventbrite. We use Eventbrite here, by the way.
Okay, so Kaba still with some strength.
Possible break here on Kaba.
Yep, that's looking for 460.
And actually, I think AIEV might be. I think that might be too early. We'll see here. AIEV no longer breaking down.
Yeah, still has to get back above VWAP though. So still, just a reminder, still looking for our lunar target of 1755, and looking for our Soundhound target of 1015. Those could some of those might end up happening later on the day after the lunch hour too. So.
Oh, DJT is ramping here.
Uh-oh.
Good mention. Glenn.
We should have known about that when Kodak started to move.
Actually, yeah. Or UMAC, right?
Oh,
I guess UMAC didn't really do a whole lot though.
All right.
DJT is moving though.
DJT upside target 3340. I know I've mentioned that one many times before. That could be a price we see today in DJT. Putting in some upper shadows right now, so not sure if we're going to see it in this particular move. We could.
SOUN here, maybe a 9 break on SOUN.
Oh yeah, it's certainly trying to. We break 9. I think the 1015 becomes an even greater possibility. Like, getting closer to a guarantee kind of possibility. And looks like some things are pulling.
Not sound.
Nope. And Cooler now breaking out to
Yo,
90
Izzy,
cents.
your son is playing their state championship football game at Ford Field today?
That's
First
pretty
of
dope.
all, yeah, one up. That is awesome. Good luck. I hope you guys win. That's really effing cool, actually. Really effing cool. You know, when I was younger, when I played hockey, I was never good enough to be in any of these games. But when I played hockey, some of the state championships would be played at the United Center here in Chicago. You get to play on the same sheet of ice as the Blackhawks. Always looked forward to that. This is really cool, man. Hope you and your son, I mean, you're not playing. I hope your son wins, but really cool stuff for you and your family, man.
Soundhound broke over 9. It's really starting to move now.
It did break that.
I mean, the price action is slow, but the upward movement is much better. I think we've been shining this on too long. But Robert has been mentioning XIII for a while, and this is a shipbuilder that builds, aircraft carriers, destroyers, things of that nature.
Huntington Ingalls?
Yeah.
Okay.
This looks like to me like it's going to go lower. Just the way that the recent price action starting in the end of October until now, that looks like a bear pennant. I would think this could end up going to about 135, maybe. Let's start with 175 and then say 135. But there's some clear indications that this is going to be going lower. And I do like the idea of the shipbuilding theme. I know that some folks are like, well, the military is trying to move away from large ships and aircraft carriers. They take so long to build. And my pushback would be, well, if we're not going to be looking at aircraft carriers and they're going to, the military landscape is changing to where they're not going to be used anymore. Why is China still building them? Anyway, I think XIII is going to go lower before it goes higher. And at that point, I think it'll be a great buy. Also pays a dividend, I believe. Yes. So that dividend yield will be even bigger when it gets lower, the price.
Take a look at NVIDIA here real quick. NVIDIA pulling off the highs.
Yeah, Robert, submarines, those are going to be the big vessels going forward, I think, and variations of drone subs. Just ones. I don't know if you've seen what is being tested right now, but they have these drone type submarines that can just basically sit dormant on the ocean floor and use the wave currents to charge it with their own built-in charging, wave charging systems. So they can just sit down there and wait for orders indefinitely. I think.
Can they receive transmissions at the ocean floor though?
I think the way they do that is they have a buoy that they launch that has it that sends it up, and then they can.
Okay, I was going to say because that's okay, interesting.
So it's
that's like the whole premise of Hunt for Red October, sitting at the bottom of the ocean like an adult schoolboy,
but no people inside.
Yeah,
and it's indefinite, so there's no life support systems.
Yeah.
No other heavy crap on there that they need. It's fantastic. OPTT makes sea drones. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, but is it legit though? That's my question. Like they say that, but is it actually legit?
Well, we should probably start getting a watch list together for sea drones and sea
that might not be a bad idea actually,
because already in the airspace drones are hot. Sea drones are going to be hot, especially the military vessels. Retti breaking out almost a 3.
Retti, the 3 call was from Crow earlier. Crow, looks like you're going to get that 3 call. Ring that puppy up there.
And he's been very patient, as he just stated. Been waiting an hour and 30 minutes for Retti to go over 3. You patient man, you.
Crow, did you have beers on Thanksgiving? And if so, what kind? AIVE has some more life. It's trying to go back to the VWAP.
Enough life to get it to VWAP. Yep. What was that? what was that company that we were looking at? That oh, it was Kodak. Never mind. They had all those interesting patents that might also give fuel to a non-Donald Trump play. Kodak actually trying to reverse and recapture VWAP, but I wouldn't trade it. Not right now.
PRZO maybe flirting with its VWAP right here.
Kava is looking to take out 460. It's still on its way back up. Needs more volume, but it's looking pretty good at the moment. Yeah, it's funny. Every time that Kodak comes up, and it's only for one reason usually. How much can they raise tariffs on all importing goods and raise it as high as they want?
Yeah, they can put whatever number they want on that.
It would just be pretty horrible for everybody. You don't want to do too high tariffs because then a lot of bad things will happen. Too many things that we can really get into, but it's going to be trading situation. It's going to be an inflation situation. It's going to be a lot of different things that happen if you put too many high tariffs on multiple countries that we import from.
Cheers, Izzy. Everyone. Yeah, take care, Izzy. Take care, Replay Game Lab. Have a great weekend. Thanks for all your support here today. Anne-Marie hitting it right on the head. They're a bargaining chip. They're being used for that. You're actually already seeing results from that. You had news that Mexican president is going to keep immigrants in Mexico.
Yeah, there seems to be some
actually working.
There seems to be some really good discussions coming out with the Mexico president and Trump. So
yeah,
looking pretty good for immigration too. The tariff thing. I mean, there's a lot more to it than just trying to punish Mexico. They are grazing on other countries and kind of channel certain supply chains to go back to the U.S., but not hurting them so bad that they go to other countries. That's why they have those other tariffs there. Yes, it's a negotiating tool. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. 4 minutes until we switch over here.
Gosh, we're gonna get both Soundhound and Lunar hit their targets, aren't we?
At the same time, no less.
It seems like they're gonna do it at the same dang time. Yep. So Soundhound still trying to make its way up to 1015. Lunar still trying to make its way up to 1755. Lunar, much closer, and they have a little bit of a wall to get past at 17. But once they do, I think we'll see that 1755 print. What a day! I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting so many good plays to be available.
Me either. I expected some smaller plays to be actionable like they were, but I did not expect them to be this much.
Yeah.
We had great stuff here today. Great stuff here today.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, whoever said that AIEV wasn't finished, they were right.
Yep. AIEV was my biggest scalp of the day here today, by the way.
Mara new highs, trying to get over 30. 29.94 is the current intraday high. And what else? Sorry for the dead air. Just trying to look.
No, it's okay. Stuff. It's totally okay.
Still haven't gotten that 3 print Retti yet, but should be close here. And I'm sure as soon as I said that, it's probably going to do it now.
Later, Tony.
Take care, Tony.
Yeah, 3D. I've heard the same thing. Heard the exact same thing.
Yep. There we go. Now we got 3 in Retti. That's all I had to do for you, Crow. Just say
here. We're going to give it to Crow then. Crow, nice patience. Still waiting to hear what kind of beer you had. Maybe he told me and I missed it.
All right.
Oh. Sorry, Anne-Marie. Hang on.
Ozempic?
Oh, God, I didn't even realize what I was doing. That's really good. That's really good, 13. That is really, really good. Okay, let's see. What We got a minute until this drop opens. Okay.
I should have said O'Reilly, but yeah. Because that's how their jingle went too. Is O'Reilly.
I love that. I love that we got 13 singing on a Black Friday here. 13 is out here singing. All right.
These
oh
junky
man, I'm
names.
excited. Oh, please let me get something. Please let me get something.
These junky names, man. This is. Oh yeah, you're on right now, aren't you?
Yeah, not yet. Got 30 seconds until this thing opens. We got to get Anne-Marie on here. Hello. Stay focused. Oh, he sent me pictures.
There's pictures in the happy hour chat. Just open the thread.
Okay, I can't be responsible for doing this right now, but I'm going to do it anyway.
The Napa song, I don't remember how that one goes. I'm not going to sing for you guys. Get out of here.
Oh, dude, look at 13.
Remember RXRX? Yeah. Another monster week. Absolutely, Sideshow. It has been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I hope all of you had a wonderful week as well. Yeah, Cooler's looking for $1. I'm really happy to see that Soundhound and Lunar are making their way to those price targets. Slowly, but they're doing it. Rigetti still messing around with 3. There's a huge wall there at 3. AIEV still holding above VWAP. Gosh, what else? What else we put? Oh, D-Pro. This one is getting smacked. Xena above VWAP. S and then Robert saying SYM and AOSL straight up. So SYM just saying, yeah, or screw your short report there. Yes, absolutely. Straight up, I would say so for sure. Going from the open, we dropped down to just under $23 at $22.78, and now we are printing $27.46. Fantastic turnaround in SYM.
Okay. I got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Made the purchase.
Yep. Got the 2 things that I was hoping for. One of the custom putters was sold out. The head cover. Oh, man. Oh, man. We did it.
Hit like for Ryan getting what he wanted on Christmas.
That Black Friday has been complete. Black Friday has been complete. Okay, let's go ahead and bring on Anne-Marie here. We're going to all say hi here on a Black Friday. Anne-Marie, hello. How are you doing? Are you muted?
I don't know. I think she's.
I haven't heard her talk yet.
I'm doing great. How are you?
She's doing great.
Oh,
okay, awesome. Doing awesome. So 13, thanks very much. Any closing words for the group?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful holiday. Don't spend too much on Black Friday. Don't listen to me. And I'll see you folks on Cyber Monday.
Take care. There we go. 13 departs on Black Friday. We'll see you on Cyber Monday. Take care, 13. Really good stuff here today. Okay, Anne-Marie, happy Black Friday and happy belated Thanksgiving. Hopefully it was awesome for you.
It was. It was fantastic.
Mine was as well.
Ones that are very quiet. And so this was one that was quiet. So it was good.
Okay, good deal. Good stuff. Quiet, good food. Bongo saying, thank you for being live today. You got it. We would not miss this Black Friday day at all. So, okay, Anne-Marie, I'm going to go ahead and bring up your chart here. I know that you were hanging out with us, which is, of course, awesome.
Amazing calls today.
Yeah, we actually had a really good day. Yeah. My prop account is really green here today. And one of the stocks that I've been holding also popping off with really good news. So it's been a really good day. Anne-Marie, the chat suggested earlier, we had 2 stocks here. We had Lululemon and Mara as potential options trades here. Do any of those make sense?
Absolutely. Bang. Let's have a look. Let's look at Lulu first. All right. So we're coming into earnings. Lulu had a bit of a catastrophe for the last couple of earnings events. It turns out that they were not being fast enough getting product into the stores that seem to be very regionally specific. Certain regions like certain clothes, and they just started figuring that out. And so they've made some pretty good changes. Now, the question is, how much are they going to go? All right. So first of all, I'm going to delete all these drawings.
Okay.
And we're going to put some new ones up. Going to use the box because we love the box. And we're going to see where the majority of traders have been spending their time and money. That's really what the box defines.
Okay.
Where is it that we've spent good money, and where is it that we are nervous about moving or a potential short squeeze might occur? So two things. We can see from even way back here, when it first broke out, that looks like 2020. It broke out in May of 2020, and it had just a magnificent run to the upside. And then look at all this heavy volume on the selling, way more than the buying volume. And so we can see that. And now the buying volume has shifted over, and we've had ourselves a pretty good run. So the question is, how much can we expect over the next run? And so you talked about earnings, and those are, let's see, I have 12.5. What do you have?
Yes. Yeah? And I believe we have that confirmed too. That is coming here. So yes, 12.5 after market close confirmed, 6 days.
Okay, so let's think about this. Let's think about you being a trader who's held it at the midpoint, which is near the volume point of control. That's where most people have engaged in the stock, and that number's about 320. So something's going to happen when those earnings come out. If they dive, you're going to run for the fire escape, because you're going to say, okay, I am done. I'm going to do either loss harvesting or whatever. If it runs to the top, they're going to do the same thing, because they've had 2 points of Heartbreak Hotel. All right. So my thought is, what about splitting that 4 space that we have? We're going to make a GAN box. And what a GAN box is, a region of areas that's split into 50%, 25%, and 75%. And you can see the floor that is really trying to be held. I'm looking at this on a weekly chart at about 295, and a potential ceiling at around 360. So if we look at 295 to 360, we're going to build 2 types of trades. We're going to build a conservative trade that gives us.
That actually might be very difficult to see. So we're going to have to read.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. No. It's okay.
Let me turn it up.
Okay.
I disconnected my machine and carried one of my other machines, and so I'm spending.
There we go.
Is that better?
Yep.
Beauty.
Much.
Beauty. All right. So let's go 360 to 365. First, the conservative trade, and then we want, 250 to 245. Oops, sorry, not traded. Let's go. December. Maybe it does it in 10 lots. That's weird. 250. Oh, it moves by 10. Interesting. All right. So it moves by 10 on the bottom. So let's do it by 10 on the top, just so we have an easy space. So this gives us almost the amounts that we normally like to have. I like to have it at around and about 20% of the spread. This gives us 190 for December. If you're thinking, hey, maybe it jostles around, you can go to January and you can get well over that amount. That's coming in at around 280. It might even actually be 285, but slipping around in that area. Now, let's say you're thinking the price action is going to run hot to the upside. So this butterfly is actually right at the current price right now. So it's going to be the most expensive one. So let's move it 330 and let's go 350 and then 3. Let's first look at 360. Okay, so that's very expensive.
Whoa, yeah.
The thing is, if it goes to 350, let's say it flies all the way to 360. Look at what's beautiful about this one. If it works and this thing goes to $400, you're going to still have $20 of upshot and only $10 of downshot. So you are going to have more than $5 that you'll be able to take away if it flies off the handle. Now, if we do a regular butterfly, these are very expensive because they're right at or near the money. Let's see what the traders are expecting for December. Okay, so there's like almost $40 built in here to the move. So they have really priced this into a space where the Iron Condor is going to deliver the best bet for you collecting cash. And here's why. Look at what the ATR is. It's $7. So they have priced 2.5 times the move of the average ATR. Huge. That's very, very big. And so the question then becomes, let's say they're right. And so let's build ourselves some boxes. Okay. All right. They're expecting $40. And so this box is actually $150 wide. That's really, really big. So if it's $150 wide, then the halfway spot is $75 wide, and the quarter spot is $37.50. Okay, so we're going to use $37.50, and let's see if we can get something that's cheaper. So let's just call it 40. We'll say 360. That's the top of the range. How much is the short interest on Lulu right now?
I can pull that here for you. One sec. Lulu short interest as of the last update here, which was 11/26. It's 3 days old. This is really fresh. 6.48% of the float shorted with 3.3 days to cover. So elevated, but I would not quite say high yet.
Wow. Okay, so if we did the 360, and of course, because, we can use December, 360 to 370 to 380. The upside, that's a 41-cent call. Very nice, $10 upside, 40. So that would be $1,000 updraft, $41 risk. Let's say they fall out of bed. Okay, and so that takes us down to about 300, 320, maybe 290. So let's go big fat round number. We go 300 to 290 to 280. That's a lot more expensive.
It sure is.
78 cents. It's 78 cents. So if it goes to the 290 area where really that support is sitting, 290, 280, 270, it's 65 cents. So if you bought both of these, you would have upside pressure and downside pressure to the tune of $1,000 potentially upside. And so you'd be spending about $100. That gives you, a 10 to 1 if it does exactly what we want it to. Now, the question might be, might it be worth it to look at the expiry? This is the day after earnings is when this expires, right? Because they report on the 5th. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. So this would be the 6th. If per happenstance you did something like this, ooh, it's much more expensive. That's very interesting. Yeah. So I would have thought it would be a little bit cheaper, but it's because there's so much volatility in the stock. So this is what I would do. If it were me, I would say, all right, I've got the measurements. They're pricing in about $40 of motion before they get into any trouble. So if the market makers are wrong, this one, wow, look at that. It jumped to 84
It sure did.
I would put it in there for about 40 cents.
And look, back to 60.
Yeah. I'd say, hey, listen, I'm going to put this in for 40 cents, 41 cents, and see if it goes. And I would do the same thing on the put side. 55 cents. Don't spend more than $1.
Okay.
And so what you'll be able to do is collect a pretty nice amount. Now, what's going to happen, in my estimation, because all these guys here are essentially bag holders, they are going to go, bye-bye. I'm done. I've spent 4 years holding you and I got buckets. And so what I'm going to do is just cut and run until I get, I'm glad I gave you a chuckle.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut and run and wait for the next deep dip. That short interest to me is really, really important. I actually put a SoundHound trade that's coming out over the weekend on the Benzinga regular channel. And I'm using SoundHound for that because of that short interest.
Okay.
And to me, 3 days to cover and a very sharp move to the upside, like Sound is doing, I think that's short covering. It's just absolutely running up the chain. And so there was an option there we were looking at that, it was 78 cents and now it's like $1.70. So that for the butterfly. But in any case, I've spent a lot of time here. That's it. That's what we're looking at. Here is the Lulu trade. I like it. I'm going to look, now it's 32 cents. So yeah, if you put it in there for around those edges, just let it sit. It's a low volume day.
Yeah.
Let it sit. See if you can get it. And then if you don't get it, you go, you know what? Next time, just don't chase.
Really,
don't chase. Go ahead.
Really good question here from Big Bees. Anne-Marie, do we risk IV crush on the pricing of the options with the level of the IV in the chain? How do you compensate for such high IV? So
that's a beautiful question.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Super fast answer. Because we are both selling strikes and buying strikes, the only thing we really care for in the butterfly is for price to move. So, for instance, if price doesn't move, these options will collapse, right? But if price does move, it doesn't matter about IV crush. IV crush will come, but it will deflate the sold option in the center strike. And so that's not a really big deal at all. When the butterfly comes together, the sold center strike is what matters. That center strike taking the majority of the crush out and balancing it. So really, in a butterfly, the big thing that happens is as long as I move. If it doesn't move, crush hurts everybody. If it does move, which is what we are looking for, the outside, what if these option traders are wrong? See, the Iron Condor says what if the option traders are right? The butterfly says, what if they're wrong? And if we take both sides of the position, we really are sort of hedging ourselves in a way. We collect premium, so Ivy Crush is going to be in our favor. And if something happens and it really widens out, we're able to capture it before it falls back into the range.
Big a piece. Does that answer? He says, oh, that's magic. So looks like we did well there. So, and this is also why you always put that alert at the center, at the body, right? At that center strike.
Exactly.
So that,
always at the center
always.
Strike. Always at the center strike. All right, Mara.
Mara, let's do it.
Okay, so Mara, listen, this January option, I can't remember when I talked about it. It was either in the room for the Benzinga Pro, or we might have talked about it in an option space, but this was 70 cents. And it was,
it's already a double then.
Oh yeah, it's well over 100%. So now you're thinking to yourself, well, should I do that? And here's what I want to show you. It is moving with Bitcoin. So I'm going to do an overlay and then tell me when I need to shut my mouth, okay? Because
you're good.
Can yammer on.
You're
okay,
good.
so
we got nothing behind us. We got 10 minutes left. You're totally fine.
Okay, so we're going to compare it with Bitcoin. Oh,
looks like it.
Yep. Sakes.
I hate that.
Always operator error. Okay, so have a peek. This is the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin falls, Mara falls with it.
Yep.
Bitcoin rises, Mara stabilizes and begins to rise. Now Bitcoin is dancing around 100,000 again, right? And so what's Mara going to do? Now, last time we were talking about Mara, let me remove this. Last time we were talking about Mara, we drew this box. And again, we're looking at traders that stepped in December of 2020. Bounced up, they thought it was going to the moon, collapsed right down into what? Old resistance.
Yep.
New support. It held that zone. Now, finally, after re-entering the box in 2021, here we are coming up to the top of the box in 2024. 3 years of holding Mara. 3 years. What do you think people are going to do, by and large, when it hits the top of the box? Well, let's see what they did last time. Sold it. Sold it. Now, what's the only difference? The only difference is that Bitcoin is coming out of its range. So what do we expect? Well, we either expect it to go at least to the middle of the box to come back where the volume point of control is, or the 50% retrace, which is 45. Now, when is that going to happen? I don't know. A lot of people are going to be coming up on holidays. Everybody and their grandmother are talking about, oh, maybe this is the time to buy Bitcoin. So I see Bitcoin rising over the holiday season, and it could push us up into this area. But it's due for a retrace. So could you trade both sides? Yes, absolutely. Now, first of all, if you want to get involved in Mara, you could sell a put and you could go, you know what? If it comes in to 17 and I think it's going to, and I collect it at 17, then that means I get it to X. I get it for $16.80. Or I get it for $16.90 if I sell it into January. So if you're going, hey, listen, I want some Mara. Mara's going to be good. Sell the put. If you're thinking to yourself, wait a second, this thing is going to go to the top of the box, you can do a butterfly. right? And so the butterfly really, this was an older one that I did. The butterfly could start at 34 and it could go to 44. So let's see what the traders have for us. And then you got to think about, well, when do I want to do it? Twice as many calls as puts. So you could go, maybe it happens in December.
Well, so is the original thesis there was over the holidays. Would you want to pick an expiry that includes the Christmas holiday? And actually,
that is Hanukkah, a very good question.
I believe Hanukkah actually starts on Christmas Day this year, which is traditionally pretty late. So we might
Let's see what January the 3rd is. Okay, not a ton of volume sitting in there yet.
I was worried about.
Not a ton of volume there. What if we looked at January?
Well, that was kind of what I was wondering. Like, do we need to go? That was going to be my follow-up question. Do we need to go close and use the weeklies or use? Yeah. So you want to use the volume then. You want that extra time and you want the volume in the strike. That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. So let's say we go there and we go, you know what? This thing is going to go from 35 to 45 to 55. Oops. 50 is the largest one they'll give us. Okay, so now this looks expensive, but here's the storyboard. If you've got a $10 spread above and only a $5 spread below, you've got $4. If you paid $1 for it, you have $4 that you can take home, even if this call goes, even if MAR goes to 100. You still have money that's packed in. And this is the one thing about a butterfly. If you have uneven legs like that and you're thinking to yourself, you know, this is going to be a nice one and I'm going to be okay with it, this would be a great space to go, you know what, I'm going to spend $120 on this. I think Bitcoin is going to X and I'm going to go the cheap way and move it here. Two things in your favor. One, you have until January, so there's a lot of time for leakage, and the price action will stay relatively stable. And then two, if it blows off the rails, this is going to still pay you, which is very beautiful. Even after it starts rising to 50, that butterfly will continue to expand into the total amount that you have available for profit. So that is the flip side. See, risk and reward in trading always has that bead. More risk, less reward, less risk, more reward. And so here we're taking less risk. But when we take less risk, we end up paying more if price action is moving in our favor.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So that's the storyboard there. If you think it's going to rotate and pull back into the support zone, which, listen, full disclosure, I am looking for Bitcoin to come back into 70 to 75 before I jump in with the next longer leg forward.
Okay.
It could be that it's not going to come back for me. I thought it would go to 91. It did. It's popping. I think it's going to run into the holidays. But after that, the week long hands are going to start to pull out some cash. And so if this falls back into the bottom of its range, that old resistance, new support, volume point of control looks like about 1750 to 20 maybe. And so you can look at, let's see what this is, 20 to 15 to 10. All right, that's 52 cents. Now, again, if it goes all the way down to 10, you're going to lose some cash. But if you say to yourself, hey, I'd like to collect something off of that, instead of 15, I'm going to use, I don't know, 17.5. Let's see if that'll give us anything. No, really. Not really. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I would leave it at the 10 and see how that goes. But if you're saying to yourself, hey, I want to do 135, 35, 45, 50, you could also do a 1x3x2. So let's see how much that one will cost if we don't think it heads above 45. So that might be a good one. 35, 45, 1x3x2. That is, doesn't really give us that much. Well, 68 cents, about half the price, right? But that 68 is a wash if Mara goes to, 100. So that's the flip side there. If you say, hey, listen, I don't want any risk. I want to do just a flat out call. I don't think it's going over 45. And even if it does go over 45 for a little bit, you'll still be making money.
Okay. All right. Really good stuff, Anne-Marie. And guess what? Your timing was perfect. We shouldn't have even worried about that. Timing was absolutely perfect. So, I didn't mean to remove you. Actually, meant to remove the screen share so we could say goodbye to the group. So, okay, Anne-Marie, thanks again for joining us here on a truncated Friday. I know the market closes here. Another PSA: market closes in an hour and a half here, folks. So be careful. Don't get yourself too trapped. But Anne-Marie, thank you. Happy Black Friday. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll catch you next week. Okay.
To you also. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. I'm going to end the stream now. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your long holiday weekend. Thank you. You are welcome. 3D, Big Bees. Have a great weekend. Take care, everybody.